Let's see here. As you guys know, I'm so good at this. But right now I'm by myself. Hope everybody's fine. I'm going to be looking for the chat, but welcome everybody to me just right now talking and seeming like I'm some sort of weirdo talking to himself. Welcome everybody to Hello, Alan. Hello, the Magic Conch Shell. It's nice to have a couple people here. Hey, Ash. Hey, Venikins Heart. Kathleen. Tabby Pood. My day was pretty good. I've had a really great day. Hi, Miss. Hello, Paisley. Nice to see you. Very nice to see you. Oh, it's Evil Black Cat, everybody. Hey, Evil Black Cat. You looks like you still got the moderator status. Oh, hey, Bitty Bitty. Nice to see you. Claire Strange. Yesterday was your birthday, so happy belated birthday to Claire Strange, everybody. Love you too, Alan. I love all my guys. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Loki. It's gonna start. The chat's gonna start going kind of fast. I might miss somebody. Thanks, Loki. Hello, Julia. How you doing? Hey, Clarissa. Now I'm gonna apologize right away to everybody. Hey, Penny Dreadful. I'm having one of those times where my mouth sounds kind of pasty, so I have to apologize for that. I don't exactly know what the problem is. I've been drinking like tons of water, but I guess I'll just keep doing that and apologize for that. Jordy, hello. If I've missed anybody in the hellos, feel free to say hello again, and I'll catch up with you. Hello, Ellie. You guys are great. 25 people. Wow. Pretty quickly too. It's Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. I'm gonna really quickly stop this and make my good friend Rebecca as a moderator, so she can post links and stuff. Rebecca is one of probably the first person that I met and became friends with. You really want me to say your name? Okay. Hey, hello, Fartface. Hey, Chester Cat. Hello, RDGar1. I hope that's how it's pronounced. So how I'm expecting the Grimtail brothers to show up. I sent them the link to, so they're pretty cool about that. Or I just got a message from them. They might not show up. They're having problems with their laptop. So I've also invited the Devil's Interval, if you guys are familiar with him. So he might show up as well. I'm not going to hold anybody to that. But I saw that you were live, and I got to jump on and say, hey back. I appreciate it. Hi, Nia Johnson. I think I'm doing a pretty good job at getting you guys saying hellos. Not listening to myself, so people let me know how I sound. Phantom is late. Yes, he is. Hey, Psycho Dimension Records, welcome. I'm gonna do a good job of saying hello to everybody. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but yeah, hopefully Phantom will show up. He said that he would. He's very good at keeping this chat kind of. Oh, there he is. Hey, Phantom. Phantom, as we all know, is getting very close to 10,000 subscribers on this channel. And he has promised, as I've told you over and over again, that when he does, he's going to share his nude pictures. So if you know anybody who's not subscribed to Phantom of Darkness, make sure that you get them subscribed and get him up to 10,000 subscribers. He's a very honest person, and he keeps his promises. So that's going to happen. Hey, John Papa, my friend, is here. Ask James. Yep. Jimmy. I think I got almost everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. I really want to start out talking about what happened this week, because my plan was to really up the activity on my channel. That's why I started doing these streams, and doing the streams has done a really good job of inspiring me to. One thing that I do, as you guys know, is I go and I look for stories. I don't go to Reddit, and most of my stories are not submitted by subscribers. I go out and I look for them. I go to forums, I go to websites, but to find people that have stories, I have to have themes in mind, and I have wanted to get inspired. And some of the things that you guys say in this room, actually really helps me. So I appreciate that. And it had a little bit of a problem on Thursday, and not with me, but with somebody else we had to take to the hospital. Everything's fine, but it kind of pushed things to the back a little bit, which is completely on me. And I wasn't able to get a video out before today, so I apologize for that. I am working on several videos. I think in the last 9 days of the month, you guys are going to see a lot of activity from me. So I hope that you'll enjoy that. So you want to die? Well, I hope you really don't want to die sad there. Uh, Rebecca, Evil Black Cat. Why are you laughing at Evil Black Cat, Phantom? So as far as what we're going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and do my best to watch the chat, answer questions that you guys have, uh, and try to find some topics. I asked for some topics on Twitter. I did get some. However, it's a little difficult to always talk about that just with myself. I guess if nothing comes up, if I can't get some narrators to join me, maybe I'll have to get Evil Black Cat or somebody to join me. Uh, it's the first time I've been by myself in here, so it's like, ooh, it's like a haunted house. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much. It's like you can hear me saying a whole lot. It's just something I usually don't do. My before I did this, I used to work in a call center for health insurance benefits, and they teach you a certain way to talk, and one of them is not saying which I'm doing a lot because this, yeah, Evil Black Cat's gonna make fun of me now, but because uh, did it again because I'm used to doing these streams and bouncing words off other people, but I might have to do it myself. Oh, there's no reason to be sorry. It's fine. It's just new. Oh, you work ops. Okay. Yeah, I might go back into it because what I'm doing right now, other than the YouTube channel, is translation work. So it it kind of doesn't really. I mean, you think translation work would pay a whole lot, especially what I do, but it really doesn't. So I might go back into the call center thing for a little while, uh, or might go back to school. I have several degrees, as you know, but kind of want more. So, but oh, thank you very much, Telltale's Vlogs. I appreciate that. You're awesome too. Where's the boot? I don't know. I've been wondering where the beef is, but I just can't believe I said that. So, anybody, if any, I was about to say if anybody has any questions, but I guess where's the boot is a very valid question. I just don't know where it is. But what kind of music do I listen to, and what inspired me to start my YouTube channel? I listen to all sorts of music. Well, let me answer Phantom of Darkness questions real quick because it's really an easy one. I am a translator. I translate Japanese psychology articles into English. The article it's suicide research. It's why I don't talk about it very much because it's very, very, very depressing. But I wanted to get that question out first because that was easier to answer. And but what music do I listen to, and what inspired me to start the channel? I listen to all sorts of music. Some of my favorites, Billy Joel. I mean, Billy Joel was my all-time favorite singer. I've seen him in concert several times. I started listening to him when I was like 14 years old, and I've always been obsessed. I know all of his songs by heart. I love Billy Joel. I'm a big John Denver fan too. I do, Phantom. I do have the PhD. Doesn't mean I can't get another one. Uh, I would might have several of them. The Everly Brothers. No, Jamie loves the Everly Brothers, and it's all my fault. That's a story I'll tell in a minute, but it's really kind of amusing. But John Denver, I like REM. I'm a big REM fan. The Cranberries, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of dance music because it helps me while I work out. So this is gonna give me a reputation. A lot of Madonna, Cher, they really help me going when I'm working out. I eh, always listen to Eye of the Tiger when I work out. Losing My Religion. When I was in high school, there was a lip sync contest. We moved to a new school, and within 2 weeks, I joined a lip sync contest, and I did "Losing My Religion." And I did the whole dancing thing with Michael Stipe does in the video where he's moving his arms around. It was pretty fun. Show tunes. I don't really listen to show tunes, but there are some I like. Things coming up roses. But my music tastes are really varied. Like I get obsessed with certain songs. I listen to the Humpty Dance while I work out. I uh, listen to a lot of music you might not know. Laura Fabian, Amber, who does the song "Sexual." Now, what inspired me to do my channel was two things. Well, it was several things. There's several specific narrators. I King Spook was the first. I really, really liked him. He really was just such a big inspiration. I liked the way his voice was. I liked the way he read, and I was reading him and thinking, I think I could probably do this. And I remember, I was watching a video for Elfin Light Coda, and King Spook asked him to do a collaboration, and their collaboration meant it was just really entertaining to me. So I listened to it, and I thought, I want to do this. But the absolute thing that made me do this was I like getting scared, but I don't get scared very often. Sometimes, so I would in a room by myself in the middle of the night trying to get scared. But the thing is, I'm listening to, Mr. Nightmare. I'm listening to Lazy Masquerade, Be a Buster, and they're all telling the same stories. And it's like, no, I just listened to that story on this other channel. I don't want to hear it again. So what I did was I thought, I'm going to start a channel where that when you come here, the stories you read are going to be read here first, and they're not going to be read anywhere else. So that was what inspired me to do the channel. And I there is the very occasional story I'll do. Like I did Psychosis. If I do I might do creepy pastas that you've heard, but as far as true stories, the only true stories I read will be ones you've not heard on other channels. And that was what I wanted to do. That's what inspired me to do the channel. And I want to go back and thank you, Rebecca. I love you too. Um, what I consider doing a collaboration with Jackson Brothers. If you mean Brothers Jackson Videos, I've done several collaborations with them. They're one of my favorite channels. Very, very, very good guys. B-Busta, yeah, I liked B-Busta a lot. I like his puns and stuff that he did, but my two favorites, and I hate to say this and to make anybody else not feel bad, but my favorites, well, I want to say two favorites. My favorites are, King Spook, Elfin Light Coda. I really wish I could hear more from him. I love Mortis Media, Phantom of Darkness, Being Scared. Nordic Vampire. I like Nordic Vampire not only just his videos, but he's a good friend of mine. We talk quite a bit, and it's he's one of the people that I've met on here that I've really become pretty close with. And yeah, my sister loves his voice, and he's great. We have in November. He taped some lines for the Dracula play that I still intend on doing, but there's certain parts of the play that I've asked people have wanted to read certain roles, and they haven't sent me the roles yet. So this has been going on since November, and I haven't got it out yet. So if I can't find people to do it, I may have to have, like, my sister, Evil Black Cats, in here. I might have to have her read one of the roles, because once you guys hear Dracula and you hear Nordic Vampire as Dracula, you're gonna love it. It's great. I don't want to scroll back up, but I remember somebody asked me if I like Japanese music. I do like Japanese music, but I can't tell you a whole lot of people that I actually like. I like. Um, I think one of the best songs that I've ever heard is by Riafu, "Life Is a Boat." If you've ever heard "Life Is a Boat," I hope that you like it. They used to play at the end of Bleach, the first season of Bleach, but it's wonderful. But I had to also mention my friends who usually join me, the Grimtail brothers, also another favorite of mine. Uh, Your Maker, I like listening to him. Southern Cannibals, I like him. He's a nice guy. We've chatted on Twitter. Did you ever do a story about a college kid whose car stalled on the road during a snowstorm and he heard his dad calling for him to come over to the other side? I could swear I read this. That sounds familiar. Oh, well, thank you for asking, Loki. I appreciate it. That story sounds familiar, but I can't say that I actually remember the exact story. It sounds like it might be one of my winter stories, which I've done a lot of, but I think I've done that. It sounds very familiar. This has probably been covered, but how did the cat get into the box? Yeah, it has been covered, but I'm always very happy to go over it again. That is a potato bin, and it has a spring latch on it. So if you move it a little bit, the thing will close on its own. I had the potato bin open, and whenever I have it open, Ichigo likes to jump into it. So I had it open. I'd taken some stuff out of it. I hadn't closed it. I left the room. I heard a snapping noise, and I came back and I saw Ichigo was in the potato bin. He jumped in it, and the spring unlatched and it closed up on him. So I had my phone on him. I took a really quick picture of him, snapped it, and let him out of there. Just to let everybody know, it's not, I didn't torture him. I didn't put him in there. I didn't lock him in. He likes being in there. He did it himself. And after I took the picture and opened it, he still jumps in it if I open it. So I've had several people really be really, really, really rude to me about that picture. And I do take offense to that because I have never, ever mistreated an animal. So, okay, let me rephrase that. As an adult, every kid mistreats an animal a little bit because kids do that. But as an adult, I've never mistreated or been mean to any animal, and I won't. So, oh, Phantom, thank you, thank you, thank you. He's trying to Phantom is trying to offend people right now because he thinks if he loses subscribers, he'll be able to not give his nude pictures out. So, Ellie Hamlin, why is Ichigo called Ichigo? My sister named him. It's because he's orange. He's named after the character from Bleach, the main character from Bleach. Most of our pets, we name them after TV characters and movie characters. So yeah, he just because he's orange hair and his name is he's orange and his name is Ichigo. There would probably have been other. Yeah, he's got his hand on the box, but yeah, I let him out like immediately. But the right now, last time I saw Ichigo was right before I came in the room. He was laying on the couch, hugging it. I actually took a short video of it, which will be at the end of my next video. Phantom says he doesn't want to lose subscribers, but he also doesn't want to lose his clothes and take a photo. Well, you made a promise, and I'm going to hold you to it. So, there's nothing you can do about it now. So, you're going to lose all the clothes, boy, all the clothes. Oh Lord, why do I start these things? I have no idea. So, I'm hoping, as many of you know, to yes, Bitty Bitty, we all deserve it, and he's gonna do it. Phantom is a cool guy. He keeps his word, so he keeps his word, so he'll do it. Phantom, you could do like Markiplier and highly edited, tasteful news calendar he sold for $30 a pop. I think Phantom could probably make it the calendar, and probably sell it for more than that and make more money. He's a let's just say he's a charismatic guy, and I think the girls like him. So, and I think some of the boys like him too. And I don't think he minds any of that. So, I think he can make some money off that. This all originated because on Twitter, KOC promised to dance in a thong or something. Oh God. Okay, I have to say that the revenge your revenge is good, Phantom. Yes, as many people know, I said that if I reach 100,000 subscribers, I will wear this candy jockstrap and dance to "I Touch Myself" by the Divinals. The reason I did that is because I never really thought that, and I still don't think I'm going to reach that goal. But my friend Kevin actually bought the candy jockstrap. It's sitting by my desk right now, so it'll we'll see what happens. But I will keep my word. So Phantom has to keep his word too. But I don't think I'll get to 100,000. Although I should let you guys know, if I haven't let you know already, that I will have a video coming out in probably, I'm hoping this next week. I'm redoing my Chicago video, and Phantom of Darkness will be reading one of the stories. King Spook will be reading one of the stories, and Grimtoe Brothers will be reading one of the stories. And even though it is the original video was 4 stories, the new video will have an extra story. So I'm going to read 2 of them. So we'll have a hopefully it'll come out this week. And I really like the Chicago video. When I was younger, when I was younger, when I was a younger channel, I had a bad microphone. I had a lot of mouth noises on it because I had to be really close to it. I listened to some of my older videos and I kind of cringe a little bit. So I I think the Chicago stories are really good. So I think they need to be done better and shared with people. I did one of my other videos again, and it really got a good reception, and I appreciate that. Bitty Bitty thinks I will get to 100,000. Well, we'll see. I know that I've had a lot of people helping me out. I need to be more consistent. My videos are averaging about 5,000 views right now, although I have 27,000 subs. But I need to be more consistent. Uh, I will be doing that this coming week, so please expect quite a bit of content coming out. Uh, Good choice narrating with King Spook. Well, let me explain that a little bit. King Spook did a video about 2 years ago where he got a lot of good narrators on it, and he gave me some stories. One was really, really long, and I enjoyed doing it. And I think I gave him close to 2 hours of content. And there was let me think about it. I personally enjoyed it. It took me about 8 hours maybe to record and edit all the stories because one of them was really long. But I tried to make it as good as I could and gave him the stories. And the video, I think, turned out wonderful. It did good for me. I got a lot of subs coming from King Spook, and that time, and it was great. And he came to me a couple of weeks ago because we've talked not extensively, but I consider him a friend, not a really close friend, but we talk a little bit here and there. And I knew for a while he was pretty good friends with Rebecca, but he's a great guy. And he just came to me and said, "Hey, you did this video, these stories for me a few years ago. Would you like me to record something for you?" And it's great. Yeah, of course. I'm not a fickle person. I continue to like usually the same people. So I've liked King Spook. I have always liked King Spook, and I think that I always will. He's amazing. He's got the great voice. Kind of reminds me of the Joker, sort of, in some of his earlier videos. I think that's what the appeal was. He kind of sounded like if I was casting a movie and I was casting based off voices, I would have picked King Spook to do the Joker's voice, and that's kind of what appealed to me. I'm pretty loyal to Elfin Lycoda. He doesn't have a lot of content, which I understand. I don't want him people thought when I said that before that I'm coming down on him, but I'm not. I love the guy. He's nice. He's always been very kind to me, and I would like to see more videos from him, but you can't really put that on people. So, uh, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna do? Oh, the Magic Conch Shell was talking about my narrator death stories. That is actually a good idea. I haven't done one of those in a year. So if any narrators are out there, I see Phantom of Darkness. Uh, hey, Phantom, did you do any stories in my narrator death videos? If not, you should. I'd like to have you on there. I'll ask the Grimtail brothers if they can show up too. But yeah, it's about time to do another one of those. I agree. So I'll ask around. So if you guys know any other narrators to talk to them and you think you'd like to see them do it, reach out to them. I'll reach out to them too. And well, you're not gonna really die, Phantom. It's just a story, silly boy. You could write a story about you reaching 10,000 subs, and you have to send out your nudes, and you die of embarrassment. You can't tell me that wouldn't be an awesome story to narrate. Oh, Gene, I owe you a hello. I was seeing you in there while I was chatting. This is just so neat. I'm feeling so weird right now, just being here by myself. But it's good that I can kind of bounce off you guys. Bitty Bitty got a shirt. Oh, what shirt do you have? Just curious. Yeah, it's always great to see you, Gene. I'm sorry I didn't say hello at first. Sometimes when I get myself into telling something, I tell it to the end, or I saw you there and I kept being like, "Oh, you got to say hello to Gene. You got to say remember." So I'm glad it's just you because you get to talk to us. Well, thank you. Uh, it sounds like a lot of pressure. Oh, come on, Phantom. Stu doing great. Ask Brother Jackson videos. I will. I mean, I'll always do. I'll always do collabs with Brother Jackson videos. I consider them good friends. I've known them for about 2 years now. They're really awesome. Their commercial. Their commercial is so good. Uh, I got to mention, and I have to get some links here. Richard Wheeler, who is a subscriber who has commented on many videos of mine. He is a really cool guy. He made a little song for me, which I'm going to share. We're going to make a commercial or an ad for my channel, and his song is going to be on that. Even more, I got to share some links for him, but I'll do that a little bit later in the stream because I got them in the other room, and I'll remember to mention him for being so wonderful to do that song for me. And he's taking the theme from Candyman, the Hello Helen. No, wait. It was Always You, Helen. And he's taking that and he's going to kind of redo it for me in a music box sort of way. I asked him to do that and he said that he would. And he's a great guy. So if you see Richard Wheeler in the chat or you see him commenting on the video, say hi to him. He's an awesome guy who really went out of his way to do something for me that he didn't need to do. So it's I appreciate him very, very much. Now I'm going through here because I know somebody asked a question, and Teresa Jones. I happen to be fond of KFC. I listen to everything he posts. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, Phantom is a silly boy. That's why we like him. He keeps our chats going. He's great. Thunder over Louisville. What's it? You got a storm coming there, Rebecca? I'm backtracking because I thought I saw someone ask a question and now I can't find it. So if you have a question I didn't answer, answer it. Please ask it again. I'm going back and forth. So yeah. Richard Wheeler is very talented. I really want to share. I really want to share that video, but the song. But we got to get a commercial together. Did I hear that Art Bell passed away? Yes, I had heard that. I don't really have a lot that I could say about that. Yes, Chester. I asked Phantom to be naked for the stream. He said that he said that he would. So everybody, Phantom is naked right now. Um, I did hear about Art Bell passing away. I have kind of conflicting thoughts about that. He was I he was a fine enough person. Um, our views conflict considerably. So I'm I wouldn't say that I'm a staunch skeptic. I am more one of those see, he admits he's naked. I'm one of those skeptics that I would consider what is a true skeptic. I believe what I see evidence for, and I don't discount because people are like, oh, and I've said it before. I don't believe in ghosts. That's not particularly accurate. I don't believe when people tell me something or they show me something and there's no evidence. And there's so many people on YouTube who fake ghosts, and it irritates me to no end because I can watch these videos and be like, okay, we know exactly what that person did. And the reason it irritates me is they're taking something that we believe in or you believe in, so people who want to believe in ghosts, and they're mocking you. I mean, anyone who tries to trick you is mocking you. And when I see people do this, it just irritates me. Now, if anybody has seen my Waverly Hills video, there was something that happened at Waverly Hills that I can't explain. We were there for 8 hours. This happened while there was a group of us walking through the hallway, and it was completely pitch black. Well, not really pitch black. There was a lot of ambient light in there, and see, Bitty Bitty's right. The people who fake ghost videos think people are stupid, and they do it. They fake these ghosts to mock you, and it irritates me because you can't. That would be you'd be like somebody coming back and saying, "I'm Jesus," and trying to make you believe that they're Jesus. Well, they're mocking your beliefs because obviously this person is not Jesus. And that's what bugs me about people who fake ghost videos. They're taking your beliefs and being like, ha, 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 I'm really messing with these people. But back to Waverly. So we were walking through the hallway, and we don't know what it was, but there was two people in front of us who kind of moved their heads really quickly, and something hit me and actually knocked me into the other room. And I had to sit there with my hands on the wall, uh, and I was like breathing really heavy because whatever had hit me, it kind of like knocked me silly. Now, somebody might come up and say, okay, then that's proof that ghost exists. And it's really not, because I can tell you the story, but as you see, I got so much on video, but we didn't get that. So that's the bad thing about it. Yeah, Rebecca felt the force as well, and so the reason it's not proof is because how do you guys know that I'm telling the truth? I'm running a horror channel here, so maybe I'm trying to get something by you there. And I really don't know what happened, but it was interesting, and I kind of wish that we would have got it on video. And then go back. Gene asked me how I'm doing. I am doing pretty good, actually. I'm feeling great. I felt sick earlier. My foot was hurting, so I laid down and slept. But I had wonderful dreams, so that was great. Let me go back here. You can tell when something is faked. Yes, you can. And I actually was planning on doing some debunking videos. There is one video that I know I've debunked completely, but I haven't made a video about it because I feel sometimes that I might be offending people. I did. I've only debunked two things. I debunked the homunculus thing, and I debunked the "Hey Walter, I got a new girlfriend today" video, which I was right. So I was proved right on that one. It's pretty cool. Um, KFC is mocking me, saying I'm naked, and they are really messing with me. Oh, don't act like you don't like it. You love it. Vern Troyer did die. Yeah, 49 years old. Um, B. Davison, how's it going, KFC? It's going great. Like I said, I'm in a pretty good mood here. It's nice to see friends. Nice to see Kitty Baby. Nice to see Teratopia in here. Hey, how you guys doing? Uh, Tennessee, and many friends have been to Waverly, and most have said the place is wicked. Waverly is neat. And wait, have I ever seen a dead person? Unfortunately, yes. And it's not something I I I I would ever really want to do. My you if you listen to my personal stories, you would know that about my friend Matthew, and I found him when he committed suicide. So yes, I've seen a dead body, and I don't think I ever want to see a dead body again. So it was not pleasant. And it was just very unpleasant. Um, so let me go on here and stuff and see what I'm missing. Do I like 80s horror movies? Oh yes. And have I seen The Town That Dreaded Sundown? Isn't the town is it the Dreaded? Yeah. Wasn't that a 70s movie? I thought that was a 70s movie, but yeah, I've seen both it and the remake, and I liked it. I love 80s movies. We just watched The Reanimator the other day, which I've always liked. I think it's one of the better horror movies. When I was a kid, I could not watch that. It was just horrible. When will you be putting out your next video? Hopefully tomorrow. I want to really kind of like stuff a lot of stuff here in the last few days of the month because I promised people that I would pick up my activity, and I haven't because of several reasons, which I don't really need to go into, but they're taken care of now. So look for a lot of stuff coming in the next 9 days. I plan on putting a lot of stuff out there. I am going to redo more than one video. The Chicago video is going to be the collaboration. I'm also going to redo a couple of my early videos that have a lot of mouth noises and I'm talking like this and nobody can really hear me. So I'm going to try to redo them. And I think I might redo one of my best videos, one of my most watched videos, the stories about parents who don't listen to their children. Um, and the reason for this is not that I'm trying to be uncreative by doing reboots or remakes. It's just that the quality of those videos is pretty poor. And I want everyone to be able to enjoy these stories because they're good stories. I want to redo the one with the dogs. You want to play with my dogs? Maybe I can get a better accent when I do that one. No, a lot of people said they like that one. That voice. Ash. Oh, hey Ash, how you doing? Uh, looking back, I see what I've seen people here. If I missed you again, I'm trying to keep up with you guys. But I mean, what are some movies that you guys like? Horror movies. What was horrible in a good way? Evil Black Cat. I think I missed something. Talk like a girl. I'm not going to talk like a girl. Uh, I'm going to have a drink of this vanilla Coke though. I put the vanilla Coke in the freezer, so it got nice and frosty, which I really love to drink it like that. And I'm gonna lose all my teeth because of these vanilla Cokes though too. Real sugar, huh? Mountain Dew throwback is my favorite. Yep, I love vanilla Coke. See, I told you, Phantom is just like me. Oh, vanilla, yeah, cherry Pepsi. Oh Lord, that just sounds wonderful. The original cherry Pepsi they made, I didn't like. Or wait. No, cherry Pepsi. I love cherry Pepsi. Pepsi vanilla, the original one, I didn't like. I don't know if they've changed it, but I didn't like it when they originally did it. Loki Loves Carnival of Souls. I don't know if I've seen that one. Or The Uninvited. Is it? It's about a killer orange cat. Therese likes Gatorade. Yeah. Whose video did you do the girl voice? Oh, I did the girl voice. I don't know. Huh, I don't know. Oh, and thanks, Evil Black Cat. Yeah, well, the experience was awful. It's here's what I think about, um, probably the worst Star Trek movie was Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, where Spock's brother had this power to go up and remove people's pain. And when he was gonna do it to Kirk, Kirk's like, "No. No." He's like, "I need my pain. Pain is important, and it makes me who I am." And that's true. You're every one of us is a combination of every event, every emotion that we've had in life forms us into the people that we are. And although losing Matthew was something I can't even describe, it's we were closer than I've ever been with anybody, and the pain was monumental, but it made me who I am. So I hold on to it for that reason. A lot of people think you need to all let that go, but it's part of who I am. So it's me. So no, I love him very much. He was one of the best friends I've ever had. Maybe the only person who ever really understood me. Um, and I miss him, but it was a long time ago, and he's still with me in a way. So through that experience. So anyhow, the Mortal Effect King Spook told me about me and that you really love my content. Wow, I can't even read anymore. But thank you very much, and thank King Spook if he's out there. I hope you'll come back when I get that Chicago video up because he'll be doing one of the stories. He's actually going to be doing the best story. King Spook's one of my idols, so I had to give him the best story. I think it's called the Underground L Station. If you haven't heard it yet, you can wait until the Chicago video comes out, or you can go back and listen to my old one. But having King Spook of all people read the Underground L Station is going to be awesome. Thanks, Chester Cat. It's okay. Um, it's okay. Again, it's part of who I am, so that's cool. Ichigo only kills spiders and sometimes crickets. If somebody breaks into the house, I don't know if any of the animals are something I can rely on. If it was still alive, the ferret would probably go after the intruder. Uh, Ichigo, I can't even really imagine what Ichigo would do. Drew might meow with them like who the fuck my language. And he would bark, but yeah, like she said, she would hide because she's a scaredy cat, and Rukia never comes out. Now, if someone broke into the house, it's either me or Oni or Evil Black Cat are going to be the ones that have to deal with it. And I have my Zompok toe, so maybe that'll help. I'm cutting out a little. Don't know what to do about that. I'm not really a good technology person. Maybe there's a bandwidth problem. Uh why is he doing something that takes a lot of bandwidth? It's better now. I would here. Let me hear real quick. Why is he doing something that takes a lot of bandwidth? Okay, I listen to myself. Just keep me updated on that because I'm not listening to me because unlike you guys, I don't like listening to me. It took me so long to get to a point where I could listen to myself when I edit. So some of my original video. So that's why you might hear a lot of mouth noises and stuff because I didn't really want to listen to it. And it was the Waverly Hills video that got me to start listening to it because I love that video. And like I told people, if you really want to know what kind of person I am, watch that video because that's me. You hang out with me. I spend the entire time making bad jokes off the cuff and I'm just an overly silly person. So if we're able to do it instead of the nude reveal, you're doing that nude reveal whether you like it or not, little boy. I'm holding you to that. If I have to send all the cats over there, I'll send all the cats over there, and they'll have to strip you. But the uh oh lord. But anyhow, getting beyond that, I want to do a new Waverly. Hopefully, we can. As I mentioned before, I have a friend. I I have a friend who has terminal cancer, and one of the things that he wants to do before he passes away, unfortunately, is that he wants to do a ghost hunt at Waverly Hills. He was supposed to go with us the first time, but his boyfriend at the time wouldn't let him go. So we want to do that for him. That's why I kind of started a GoFundMe for it. Um, because I'm not the kind of person to ever ask people to donate things, but anybody can get the link and just forward it on Twitter. It seems to get to people. So I'm going to use a camera this time rather than my phone. So we'll see what happens. We had a lot of fun there. So hopefully I can get a few people to go and do our own little ghost hunt. I think it's good to do a ghost hunt with a skeptic and with some believers. So uh, maybe the interaction will be very interesting. Your Maker and Darkness Prevails are great choices, and we all know about KOC. Oh well, thank you. But yeah, it's you like the Conjuring movies. Oh, um, well, I still like you, so it's wonderful. Um, I'm being silly. The movies themselves, I like. I don't like the portrayal of the Warrens in there because that's not like who they are. Those are in the Conjuring movies. The Ed and Lorraine Warren are not Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're really not. The interactions I've had and stuff, it's and the research I've done and the people that I've talked to, knowing them, you're not seeing the Warrens in those movies, and that irritates me. I really don't like them. I think they're frauds, and I think they try to make money off other people's beliefs, and I find that to be offensive. Now, it may surprise people to hear this, but I'm actually a tarot card reader. I've been reading tarot cards for a long time. I love them, but when I read tarot cards, I don't that this is anything mystical. I don't look at you and read you. Wait, one second. What's the difference, Warren? I don't understand your question. Explain it again. But I'm talking about between real life and in the movies. In the Conjuring movies, Warren and Lorraine Warren were people who they were con artists, and they have been proven over and over again, actually even in court, to be frauds. They claim that they worked for the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church said, no, they don't. We don't allow lay people to do exorcisms, including them. They've been caught in lies over and over again, document that, and I find them to be terrible people. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but the people in the movie are great, great people, not Ed and Lorraine Warren. And again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if any of you way Lorraine, but yeah, I don't want to. So if you like them, if in war, apologize greatly, but no, I do not care for them at all. And how's everything going there, bandwidth and stuff? Here, let me close a couple things, see what happens. Maybe my computers might be using a lot of memory, as you guys know. Huh. Hope it is it still cutting out, guys? Let me know what it's doing because I can't turn it on myself. I going there bandwidth and stuff. Here, let me. So, huh? I always wonder how old he is. He sounds young, but he speaks with such a mature cadence. It may never be solved. Who are you talking about there? That was my phone. Is it good? Is it doing good now? Get me updated on that, and I'll see what happens. So I apologize. It is cutting out. Oh Lord. It may never be solved. Who you? So, yeah, I sound I sound like a robotic killer orange cat. Do I really? Hmm. Oh, you're talking about me. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a few people who know my age. There are a few people who know my age, but it's just not important, really. Um, I know Rebecca knows it. We're very close, though. Outside of this, Phantom knows it. Phantom guessed it. How the hell do you guess somebody's age? He on the very first try, with knowing so little about me, he guessed my age, and it was pretty funny. I was very, 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 very impressed, actually. Um, but yeah, it's Optimus Prime. That's funny. I just don't think we really need to share our ages because it doesn't tell you anything about anybody. So I miss Chicago too. I want to go back there so badly. But no, it age gives you preconceived notions about people, and that is why I don't tell it. And I don't want to know your guys' ages either. I mean, it, it, people think, oh, you find somebody who's like in their 40s, and people are, oh God, that person's in their 40s. I don't want to be friends with them. I don't want to do anything with them. People do that, and or they'll be like, oh my God, that when I once was friends with somebody when when I was in my early 20s, and I was, I'm not in my early 20s now, but I was in my early 20s, and I was friends with a 19-year-old who wanted to date me, and I considered it for a long time, and finally I was like, no, no, I can't. You're too young. Um, I can't. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my life. Uh, the 19-year-old was mature, was kind, and just an absolutely wonderful person that I judged and didn't date because I thought they were too young, and it was a mistake. So ever since then, I don't tell people my age because of stuff like that. I mean, that could have been a wonderful, wonderful relationship for me, and I haven't had a lot of wonderful relationships. So, uh, that's why I don't tell my age. That's a very specific reason. Um, I don't date anybody with teen in their age. Well, the Magic Conch Shell's the youngest person here, but, you're definitely don't come across like you're 13. You seem very mature, and I like having you here. So, welcome, Teresa Jones. I'm probably the oldest. I do have some older fans, and I love them. I love everybody. It's like I do you guys notice if you look through my videos that I just get the most wonderful comments. I mean, I almost never get negative comments, and that makes me so happy. Everybody's kind, everybody's oh god, everybody's just wonderful. Kevin's here. Hey Kevin, how you doing? And we say hi to Kevin, Big Kev there. He's one of my best friends, one of the absolute most wonderful people that I know. Um, we've been friends for a while. He just can't say enough about Kevin. And you better not tell anybody my age, Kevin, or I'll whip your butt. I am a psychologist, a cognitive psychologist, actually. So I study actually study very directly study the brain, and I didn't actually mean to become a cognitive psychologist. Actually, Ash, the magic conch shell is 13, so the magic conch shell is younger. But yeah, let me explain really quickly why I got into cognitive psychology because I wasn't going to. I was going to be I wanted to be a therapist, and I still might eventually do that. I mean, I'm young enough that I can, get a therapy license and stuff. I have to take some more classes to do it. I mentioned earlier, I've been really wondering about that, but I got into cognitive psychology because I needed a lab class, and I didn't really talk to my guidance counselor a whole lot when I was when I was an undergrad, and I didn't know I had to take a lab, and I was in the honors program, so there was a higher standard. So I was like, oh god, I got to take a lab, and the only lab available was a cognitive psychology lab, and I took it, and it was probably one of the most difficult classes I've ever had. And I don't have difficult classes. I'm a school freak, and it we did such amazing things, and I did this thing where I was able to hook these things up to these little pads up to people's heads, and have them read words in their own language and read Japanese words that they didn't know. And I measured their brain waves. We don't really call them brain waves, but it's just easier to explain it that way to see how much cognitive energy was being used when a person reads a English word or when they read a Japanese word. And it was very fascinating. I got an A in the class, although I struggled. I will admit that I struggled. And it was a challenge, and I thought, I love this. And if any of you guys have ever watched Brain Games, where they show this little things to how your brain works, that's cognitive psychology. So that's what I love. It's just really fun. And 26 is not very old, you little bitch. I ought to take you out behind the woodshed. AOC is all smart and stuff. It's just fun, you know. I I oh sometimes I wonder all we're ever gonna do. Um, all you kids in the stream are having a dick measuring contest to see who's older. That's funny. I feel like I should keep from laughing at that point. I was holding it back a bit. I like to be challenged, and cognitive psychology was challenging, so that's why I took it, and now I can uh, do and tell things and see things that people don't know. Um, some people think that I took Japanese because I uh, found it challenging, but that's not true. I took Japanese to piss my father off because my dad hates the Japanese people, which is stupid, and I did it as a middle finger to him. So, and if I had a very long time, and if I do, I'll speak. Where's the scariest spot in Chicago? Chicago, haunted cities in the world, if you believe in that. It's the scariest spot. You know, it's not in Chicago, but I really, really, really want to go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. That's considered to be one of the most haunted spots in the world by people who believe in that. I really would love to do that. What else am I? Another haunted spot. I used to have this beautiful book. It was written by a guy who unfortunately passed away, who was who did ghost tours in Chicago. I'm trying to remember his name, but it was a beautiful book of all the different hauntings in Chicago. And I might have a copy of it again. I loaned it to. There's a story I have about meeting a guy who's into Ouija boards, and I slept over at his house, and we heard this laughing coming from part of the room. Richard Crow, yes. Thank you, Anastasia. I appreciate that. I've talked to Richard before. Really nice guy. Um, but yeah, he made that beautiful book that I loaned to this guy with the Ouija board stuff, and he just decided after that, oh, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. And this is why he heard we both heard the laughing in the room, and he believed that he had been haunted and followed by ghosts for years, and he stopped messing with Ouija boards and says that he hadn't seen a ghost in like 6 months. So when he heard that laughing in the room, he thought that I was a magnet for ghosts. And he didn't want me around him anymore because he thought that if I was around him, ghosts would come back and bother him, which I don't even know how to comment on that. I mean, even then, when I was much more open minded about it, I was like, what the hell? You know, you made a good friend. We had wonderful freaking talks. And what does he do? Well, I don't want to talk to you anymore because the ghost might come. A dickweed. But anyhow, the Magic Conch Show has been to Bachelor Grove Cemetery twice. I would love it if you tell me all about it. I would love it. Feel free to at any time. My friend Matthew is at work, slaving on the roulette table. Matthew's a really cool guy. He had one of those unboxing channels for a while. We called it Matthew's Horror Haven. It was great. I really he's a nice guy, and I enjoyed it. But he's saying hi to me, so he can't be in the stream because he's working. But I'd like to. Hey, what do you all think? Ghosts are they real? You know, I would like to have more people's opinions on that. Um, you know, it's again, I do come out usually and say I don't believe in ghosts, but as I mentioned, that's not really accurate. I'm open to evidence if it's presented. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen the Horton Mine video. I do not believe the Horton Mine video was deliberately faked by the guy who did it. Now there could be explanations that are not supernatural, but that one so far has been the most convincing to me. Loki has had his very first and only tarot card reading. It was really cool. Yeah, I will do tarot card readings, but again, I will not cold read somebody if I do it. I will not ask you questions. I will not try to get information from you. All I will really do is I study tarot cards. I know what they're supposed to mean, and I'll just tell you what they mean. And then I leave it up to you to decide if something really happened there or not. So I think that's a good way to go about it. And I have a beautiful tarot card deck. I mean, I'd love to show you guys pictures. It's called the Robin Wood Tarot. If you look it up, it's very, very beautiful. The death card is red. In a red robe. There's a lot of white. The sickle is white, signifying that death is a change, but death is not an end. Rebecca wants me to do her. Well, you know, I'm not sure if I could really do that. You're kind of far away, and you know we're really good friends, so that might be kind of weird. Yeah, I know what you meant. Kev says he can say without a doubt that in his mind they are real, having seen them multiple times in person. Not sure I ever told you my stories, KOC. Kevin, why don't you write down your stories and I'll do a video with them? I would love to do that. And no, you haven't. So tell them. Maybe we can get more people on the wrestling forum to tell me their stories too. Do you believe scary clowns like Donald Trump? I don't talk politics. Sorry, I keep that away. So it's too divisive, you know. And I'm a very political person. I'm very involved in politics, but I just will not talk about it because it. You know the way that people are. People will be like, "Oh, you like this person? I'm not going to listen to your channel anymore." And Johnny Carson always said that he would never reveal his political affiliation because it has nothing to do with what he did. But bye, Kitty Baby. And if you're going to Chester, bye. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. KOC, would you ever do a crazy, semi scary roommate story? You know, I've had crazy, semi scary roommates, and I've actually done stories on them. Uh, I had one, my very first roommate ever Oh, what a dick. I mean, he was just trying telling me what to do and stuff, and it's like, look, bitch, are you going to Rebecca? He I just decided after 6 weeks that I couldn't live with him anymore. I'm not paying somebody $700 a month for him to tell me what to do all the time. So I left, and I told him I was leaving, and he got mad, and he came into my bedroom, slammed the door open. He took my glass of I had always keep a glass of the drink by my bed because, always had the drink. And if you're going Rebecca by, thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing the link. I love you, and hopefully we'll get to be going to Waverly Hills, hopefully in the summer. And love you too, kitty baby. You're always awesome. I love Phantom getting to 102 subscribers until we get to see him naked. I really should do this to a girl narrator too, but I'm not going to, because of all the sexual harassment stuff. I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression. So the only person I'll sexually harass is Phantom. So that's why I sexually harass him, because it's really the only option. I got a drink of vanilla Coke there. But yeah, the guy threw a glass at my head while I was laying in bed. Luckily, I moved, and I I don't like violence. So anyhow, I got up out of bed and thought, my first response is, this guy is attacking me. Get out of the apartment. But then he grabbed my hair and was pulling my hair, and I'm like, what the hell? Trying to get out, and I realized, I'm not going to be able to get out. He's going to keep holding me. So finally, I had to do what I hate to do, and I turned around, punched him right in the face, knocked him on his ass, grabbed my keys and my coat, and left the apartment and called the police. He called the police too. This big, have you anyone ever seen one of those women police officers that uh act like they have to act like they're too tough? Now, don't get me. I'm not like that. I've had friends and know people who are women cops, but occasionally you get one who has. It seems like she's acting like she has to prove something. And so this one cop comes up to me. She's like, "You got a problem with that guy?" She doesn't even ask what's going on, and it's like, no, I called you because he attacked me. Well, that's not the story he told me. And the guy, her partner, is like, hey, you need to settle down. And so she stepped back and stuff, and it's like, I'm like, and I told her, it's like, I don't care if you're a police officer, you don't talk to me that way. Because as anybody, evil black cat will tell you, the one thing that will get me to hate you and be angry with you is if you raise your voice to me. I don't care, sir. I don't care who you are. Don't raise your voice to me. Only person I won't tell not to raise their voice to me is a judge, because if I tell them that, I'm going to probably jail for contempt. But yeah, I don't like it. So I told her, don't talk to me like that. I called you to help me. Do not raise your voice to me. Show me the same respect that I'm showing you. And like her partner told her to get back. Basically, it was a domestic situation. They couldn't do anything about it. The only option was, if we both press charges, we both go to jail, which was retarded, because you could. Sorry, I apologize for using that word. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. But if they went into my bedroom, they would have seen my bed was covered in glass. That's enough evidence to know that I was attacked. I mean, it was in my bedroom, and there was glass all over the place. So, I mean, I wouldn't bring somebody into. How could I bring somebody into my room and then attack them? But that I was 19 at the time. If I ever say the word, I don't mean it as mentally challenged people. Excuse me. I don't mean that. So I do apologize. The last thing I ever want to do is offend anybody. And the Devil's Interval is here. How you doing? You're not able to chat though? The Magic Conch Shell, Phantom Music and Cars. And when you get there, you see a tombstone for a baby you have to pet and put a penny on it. And that's really fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go there. We're really, really hoping to get back to Chicago during the summer sometime. it's my home. I want to be back. So I've been looking for places up there. A lot of them don't take cats, which is an issue. Uh, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, heard someone say die and don't go. Wow, people are too sensitive nowadays about what you can't say. They are. I agree with that. I agree. We need to take Oni to the House on the Rock. Wow. If anyone's ever been to the House on the Rock, let us know. That is a creepy, creepy place up in Wisconsin. What's up? He doesn't know how to connect. The link took me to the Hangout app. Oh, yeah, it goes through Hangout. You just join through Hangout, and it takes you right. That link should take you right into the stream. Um, I don't really know what else to do besides that. Just by clicking on the link is what usually everyone does. But yeah, Rebecca says she'll walk you through it. I think you have a right to say whatever you want. I went to the House on the Rock a lot when I was younger. It's an interesting place, isn't it? I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. It's still important not to be a dick. Well, yeah, I try my best, as you guys know. Uh, you guys are getting a little quick there. What I'm trying to say here, haven't revisited since I was an adult. The last time we went was when my parents bought an RV and they wanted to take it for a ride, so we went to the House on the Rock. Um, I I don't get to see my parents very often anymore because about God 5 years ago, I guess, me and my stepfather got into a huge, huge, huge fight. He raised his voice to me, and I'm like, as I told you before, that's the one thing you don't do. And he and I got into a massive fight. I was renting a house from him. I actually had to call the police and have him removed from the house because I was renting it. So he didn't have any authority because I was paying him rent, and came into the house that I was renting and started yelling at me. So I called the police and had him taken out of the house, and that was 5 years ago. And he and I have not spoken since. So it was too bad too, because for a while there, yeah, there were even times where I called him dad and stuff, and those times are completely over now. So it's pretty sad. Now, me, see, I'm completely willing to let bygones be bygones, but I deserve an apology. And if he apologizes for raising his voice to me, I will apologize for the argument, and we'll be fine. But it's not going to happen. So, we're estranged, but whatever. It happens. It's not a big deal. We all have drama in our lives, but uh, I'm talking on here, so I guess I have to be sharing it. Hey, I got 42 watching now. Oh, it was 43. I thought 42 for a second there. I thought I had the answer to the life, the universe, and everything for a moment, but down to 41. But like, see, Black Kev says, my stepfather, he will never apologize. He will go his entire life thinking that he was right in the situation, and he wasn't. He was not right at all. And but yeah, enough of that stuff. We don't need to talk about this stuff. We talk about happier things. So, but yeah, I have a lot of good people in my life. I have you guys. You guys talk to me. You come and watch my videos. I got Oni. I got Evil Black Cat. I got Rebecca. Um, he's a giant dick, probably to overcompensate. Yeah, he's probably a giant dick because he doesn't have one. So, okay, this video will not be monetized. Would you consider doing a meetup at the House of the Rock? If I could get there, I would do it. Absolutely. The second time my grandma couldn't walk, she said she was dizzy and tired, and this was when I was 12. This is the time my aunt passed away, so everyone was sad. And sorry to hear that one. Yeah, Rebecca has been a great friend to me. She 2 years ago for my birthday, it was just really awesome. She took me to Waverly. She actually drove to my house, picked me up, and took me there. She took me out for a steak, which, oh God, that was a good steak. And then took me to the house and she paid for everything. Like I actually got through once. She kept giving her daughter the money and said, "Don't let him pay. Don't let him pay." But we snuck into a gas station and I bought myself a drink. I spent my own money on it. And I'm like, let me spend just $2. So she's like, okay. But it was fun. Um, that in reference to the Waverly, not the Waverly, the Everly Brothers, we went through the town that the Everly Brothers were from, and Rebecca's daughter didn't really know who they were, but there's supposedly a Everly Brothers museum. So I dared her to go into uh, a gas station and be like, oh my god, I need to see the Waverly I keep saying Waverly. I need to see the Everly Brothers monument. Come on, where is it? I'm such a big fan. And she did that, and they told her where it was, and it was the funniest thing. And she was like, well, who are the Everly Brothers? It was like, wake up a little Susie, wake up. So we played Wake Up Little Susie for her, and she loved it. And just from a joke like that, I guess she likes the Everly Brothers now. But it was fun. I one of the most fun things I've done in my entire life. Do cats like beer? I don't think so. Um, I they may, I don't know. I know they don't like soda. Whenever I open a soda, Drusilla jumps away. Yep, Wake Up Little Susie will be in all you Oh, the CD and the t-shirts. Yeah, you bought the t-shirts, but you never gave me mine. I'm sad. You told me you got me one, but you never gave it to me. I'm crying now. I'm not really crying, but no, oh yeah, you should see Ichigo whenever we give water. I'll pour the water. He meows for the water, and he'll it's pretty cool. She still has the shirt. Well, I'm only giving you a hard time, and you know it. So, uh, sing again, please. Oh God, that wasn't really singing. That was just me being silly. Oh, Kevin gives me a hug. See, Kevin, would you be interested if we could raise the money? Would you be interested in going to Waverly Hills with us? I think that would be cool. You love my laugh, Gene? Thank you. That was a real laugh. I wasn't laughing so you would like it. It actually made me laugh. Killer Orange shirt. I can imagine the kind of look my cat would be given if I tried to feed her beer. Yeah, I open a can of soda and the cats run away. So I assume beers too, right? I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't really know. Oh, because I really would love you to have you there, Kevin. Like I said, we're trying to raise the money to do it, but kind of going a little bit slow. But GoFundMe sometimes start out slow and catch up. So we'll see what happens because I'd love to have you there. Um, and I'll do some more videos to raise money if I'm having more videos. Open a can of whoop ass. I always like that one. When we were kids, that was usually probably my favorite. Open up a can of whoop ass. I also liked your ass is grass and I'm a lawnmower. That was a good one too. So uh, maybe you guys can share some little things that you might have said when you were kids. We say silly things. There's one I want to do that we did when we were kids, but it's so offensive. I don't think I could say it. Um, it's the it's oh Lord. Maybe Rebecca can say it for me, so I don't feel like I'm offending anybody. um, Lord, um, it's the one about a Chinese person playing a joke. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Phantom of Darkness probably knows it, and he'll do it. Something about a joke and a Coke. Um, God, when I sit back and I think about all the things that I said when I was a kid, I get horrified. I get absolutely horrified. Um, what was fatty fatty 2x4 can't fit through the bathroom door. Um, when I got fat for a short period of time when I was taking a Seroquel. I'm not fat anymore. I'm in very great shape. I I realized how horrible those things were. There was a girl. I mean, there was a girl. If you know, there was a girl named Michelle. She always wore a Motley Crue jacket, but she was really, really huge. So everyone called her Motley Moo, which is awful. Absolutely freaking awful. Oh yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you in a second, Rebecca. But yeah, what Evil Black Cat was just saying. our dad, one of the reasons we don't communicate, he's very, very, very racist. I'm not even kidding. And we had an African American neighbor who was absolutely just, her name was Wanda, I believe. She was wonderful. Her kids were great. We hung out with her. I remember because she liked the American Dream Dusty Roads a lot, and she'd do the American Dream dance, and she was wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. But since my sister and me, we grew up in a very racist family. We weren't racist ourselves. When she was fixing something other than chicken, my sister, who was very, very young at the time, was confused and asked her why she was making something other than chicken, because my dad was one of those racist people who said that black people only ate chicken and watermelon. And it was awful. I mean, he still does that stuff. And it's so hard for me to even say it. I mean, Evil Black Cat put it in quotes. You guys, I'm talking to you, so I can't put it in quotes. Um, but I could never imagine being like that. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but it's just love and being nice and kind to people. So I am not that kind of person, and I can say with all confidence and happiness, I'm not a bit like my dad. I love people. So uh, earlier today, I was watching that commercial. Um, from the 90s, I think, with two truckers sitting in a place. One's drinking a Pepsi and one's drinking a Coke, and they're listening to the song by the Youngbloods. You know, come on, people now, smile on your brothers. Everybody get together, try and love one another right now. And they nice, but then the Coke guy tries to take the guy's Pepsi and they get into a fight. So the fight part I could do without, but people just being together. Are Black Cat's evil? Drusilla is, but I don't think most other ones are. Drusilla is concentrated evil. She's like, if you've ever seen the movie Time Bandits, and at the end there's that thing that little rock that makes the parents explode, and the kid's like, "Don't touch it, it's evil." That's Drusilla. But most black cats are not. Most black cats are wonderful, lovable, and Drusilla's lovable too, but she's evil. That's why I like her. But if I don't like giving black cats a bad name, so actually, I think more people should love black cats and have them because they're just wonderful. And yes, I would consider going to do a meetup on the House on the Rock if I was able to get there. Right now, I'm in Tennessee, and I don't have a car, so it would be kind of difficult right now. But yes, I will consider doing that if we're able to put something together. Yes, I did see it, Rebecca. Rebecca did the little child saying that I was talking about. So, love my personality. Thank you, John. I I appreciate it. I think that's why I did these, because I started doing this because I really thought maybe I can get people to know who I am. So I don't. Sometimes I read some of them and I just go, oh God, people are gonna think the weirdest stuff about me. So this is me. Actually, it's really not. You'd have much more fun with me in person, I think. I've been streaming for you guys for over an hour, and I'm still nervous about it. So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. I like to drink you with a little salt and wine, lime. Did I kiss all the cowboys? Did I shoot out the lights? Did I dance on the bar? Did I start any fights? Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. Okay, that's enough of that. I miss the Fear too. How many people listen to the Fear? He was great channel, strong Scottish accent. He and like there was always something like really dirty in one of his stories. So I'm not drunk. I am not drunk. I am completely sober. I did have some brandy, but the brandy was yesterday, and it was nice. So it's I am missing something though. Hold on, guys. Just give me a pause for 1 second. Sorry about that. I had brought something in here with me, and it's missing. So I probably did not bring it. So the people who listen to this after I do it are going to be like, what the hell is he doing? But, okay. This is the part where I wish that I had, a Hey, Evil Black Cat, you want to join the stream so I can take a quick break? I need somebody talking, so. The Rock, just bring it. Yeah, I love The Rock. I loved it when Hitchhiker did, finally, Killer Orange Cat has come back to YouTube. I just love that. I always love The Rock saying so. Yeah, I'm gonna get my sister in here because I need to take a quick break and I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So I'm going to go ahead and send her a video and have her join up. And she'll talk to you guys for a little bit while I take a quick break. And there she is, because I'm really having fun right now, actually, and I don't want to stop anytime soon. So, did I like Hall and Nash when they were the outsiders? No, I was the WCW side. I'm always going to be on the side Ric Flair is on. Ric Flair was on WCW. If I'm not mistaken, Ric Flair never joined the NWO. So, yeah, I always was on the side of WCW. So but yeah, it's what is it? I was talking to somebody, and I think I posted this on Twitter how I think the idea of a fair fight is stupid because I've never started a fight in my life. I've been in a lot of fights actually. The last time was a guy who saw me because I carry a messenger bag and I don't really care. You can call it a person, make fun of me. It doesn't bother me. But these three guys, yeah, I sent you the link on Evil Black Cat. I sent you the link through Twitter, so you should have it in your Twitter message. But yeah, the three guys came up and they saw me, and this was in Ironton, Ohio. Three guys came up and they saw me carrying the bag, and he was like, he didn't call it a purse, but he decided since I was carrying a messenger bag that he could use that certain F word for me. And I was like, guys, just quit it. And then they talk about beating my ass, and it's like, no, guys, you don't just, I'm just gonna walk by you. And the guy decided to push me. And I stepped back and I'm like, you don't want to do this. Said I'm a 2nd degree black belt. You don't want to do this. Oh, he's like, oh, you're the Karate Kid. Yeah, everyone says they know karate, but yeah, try to get him a fight because you're scared. So he pushed me again. I punched him right in the sternum. He flew back, landed on his ass. Had to go to the hospital. He broke 3 ribs. So, so yeah, I abhor violence, but if someone, he was trying to gay bash me for carrying a messenger bag. So I hope he doesn't ever do that again. Hope he learned his lesson. And yes, Evil Black Cat is here. So, thank you. So say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Glad to have you here.
I can hear myself.
I can hear you too, but yeah, you need to mute it on the chat room. So, okay, you good?
I think that's good.
Okay.
No, I can still hear me.
It puts the lotion on his skin, or else it gets the hose again. Sorry, I had to do that. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
don't have
I'm gonna let her
earbuds
keep,
in.
I'm gonna let her keep you company real quick while I go get a drink, and I'll be right back. So here's Evil Black Cat.
Hi.
Questions?
I have no idea what to talk about.
Oh, it'll come to you.
Hello, G. So what's up? What should we talk about while it's gone? Yeah, a little bit. Thank you. It's a good thing I'm not drinking Coke. I have store brand pop because we're broke. My favorite color? Have you ever seen the Horsehead Nebula? Pretty much that. My day wasn't too bad. I got up and played a game with Oni because he's streaming video games on Twitch. Then I think I fell asleep on him. Then I got up and read a book for a while. That's pretty much it. That would be awesome. What's it like being his sister? Fun. Actually, really fun. I actually owe him a lot because I don't think I'd be nearly as smart as I am if it wasn't for him. Because I still remember when we were in school and in Ohio, and then we moved up to Chicago, and I was so behind on absolutely everything. Nothing that they ever did made any sense when I first moved up there. But yeah, he got me through all that stuff. So anyway, what book? It's Christopher Moore's Noir. It just recently came out, and it's utterly brilliant. And yes, I like cats. That's why I have 4 cats. Ichigo, Drusilla, Rukia, and Althea. I also have a dog. I like a lot of animals. I like pretty much all animals, mostly. Horsehead Nebula, new Smashbox lipstick shade. I like that. Twizzlers. Yes, Coyote Blue. That's actually one of my favorites. You know, I bet you anything I have 8 possum. I have no actual knowledge of what time it was that happened, but I have eaten many things that I did not know at the time were something I probably would not have ate if I'd known. It took me until I was a teenager, and then my mom was like, okay, when we're at grandma's, if I don't eat what she cooked, don't eat it, because it's not something you want. Well, thank you very much. Okay, I just heard a Drusilla meow from somewhere. I'm not allowed to tell you how old I am because then you might be able to infer how old he is. Chicken wings. 5 inside cats and 2 outside cats. That's a lot of cats. Not that there's a problem with that. I've had parakeets. Oh, I would be an animal hoarder if people let me, but thankfully they won't. My oldest brother's cat just had kittens, and he's trying to get me to take one, and I'm like, no. No. 4 is enough. I can't even afford the ones I have. In fact, if my brother didn't help, I wouldn't have been able to keep them, so. She might eat a lizard if one was in the house. All I recall is when we first came down to Tennessee, we were in this cabin and there were snakes that came in the house, little tiny baby snakes. And my cat Rukia, who's actually exceptionally shy and most people never see, she went wild on those things. The little hunter.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry that took so long.
Woohoo!
I got a special guest here. Come here, Drew. Come here, Drew.
We heard her meow a couple times.
So everybody, this is Drew. Say hi, Drew. She's not gonna talk now.
Yeah, she's gonna be shy now.
Come on, Drew. No, she's just gonna sit here. But so I hope you guys enjoyed talking to Evil Black Cat. You're perfectly welcome to stay if you want to. Oh, hey, Debrose, how you doing? Everything came out all right. No, it wasn't that kind of break. I just went to get some Kool-Aid. I had to take a couple of Advil because my back was hurting. I can get some back pains every now and then, so I had to take some ibuprofen, and that was really it. And I got some nice things to drink, so here I am. So, Drew's not saying hi. She's rubbing herself up against the computer, but it's really weird because she's the meowingest cat.
She is.
If Ichigo scratch behind the ears for me. I think Evil Black Cat will have to do that because I think he's with her.
You know, I'm not sure. He's probably here on the bed somewhere.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I love Kool-Aid though.
Yep, there he is.
When I'm 89 years old, I will still be drinking Kool-Aid. I love it.
Though we do drink it with the non-sugar sweetener.
Yes, that's true. The Devil's Interval can't get it to work. Okay, well, I do. So I'm gonna do a stream every week. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it next week too. So we'll figure out what's going on, and if you can join next week around the same time, that'll be great. Because I'd love to have you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Worked with you a few times, and you're a great guy. So I loved what he did in our collaboration, where he added Ichigo into his beginning part. That was wonderful. Anastasia B. I had a black cat that never stopped talking. That's usually Drew. She usually will never stop talking. I'm gonna make RB. I don't know what that means. Call me on it. Can you explain that? I'm stupid. You're laughing at me. That's okay. But oh no, stop! Don't know. No, if you're not going to meow, you cannot talk to the microphone. You cannot put your head on the microphone.
She rubbing on it.
Talk to you soon too. Love you. You're great. You're wonderful. And hope I can get you in here next week. We'll figure it out. Hopefully I'll be able to get some guests. Don't get me wrong. I'm completely happy to have you, Black Cat, here. Do your cats ever get crazy for attention when you're speaking on a phone or a stream? Drusilla does. Yes. Drusilla is an attention freak. It's my fault. It is completely my fault. I spoiled her completely freaking rotten. We love you too. We love you too, Devil's Interval. Have a great night. Yeah, I spoiled her rotten. I will admit it. And yeah, she wants what she wants. If she doesn't get it, she'll get mad. But she always come back. So. Right, Drew? Right, Drew? Did you hear that? She got a little bit mad. What flavor Kool-Aid? Black cherry. I go. Now she's meowing when she's not close to the mic.
Of course.
Come on, meow, meow, meow. Nope, she doesn't want to. Okay, well, go away. No, she knows I want it, so that's why she's not doing it. I don't like you anymore. Go away. No. Drew's like, see, now she's meowing. I put her on the floor, she meows.
She's just doing it to be mean.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that? Okay, enough of that. I'm start boring people. So
well, we got to hear her that time.
Yeah, that was her raspy meow. That the I want something meow. So it's whenever she really wants something, she'll like that. It's kind of weird. But yeah, she's spoiled. It's my fault. She was a cool cat before I spoiled the hell out of her. We were gonna have yeah, she was. Okay, well, I try to make her look good, and you just you consult her.
She made fun of her because she was always jumping up in my face wanting attention.
Well, yeah, I know, but when she grew up, she was cool. True. KOC, any jokes? Who? I don't know. If I tell any jokes, they're going to be jokes that I've heard from other people. I can't really write I think Evil Black Cat and even Rebecca will tell you that when you're around me, I that's all I do is I make jokes like off the cuff all the time, and I don't think about it. It just comes to me. Like when we were at Waverly, and I was making fun of the place, and I saw these hands, these skeletal hands that were drawn pointing in directions. I'm like, ooh, what is this? Is someone trying to tell us something? Oh my God, look at this, another one. I think these hands are trying to tell something, but I can't understand their strange pointy language. And that's just the kind of guy I am. If you hang out with me, when you I don't know where it comes from. I think it might come from nervousness, but I just make jokes, but I can't write down a joke or anything. So Crow was the leader of the Chicago Supernatural Tour series of bus tours. His website, he organized the first ghost bus tour in the world after getting his master's degree from DePaul University in 1973. You are correct. And he was a nice guy. I've talked to Richard Crow. I was sad when he died. He was a good guy. He really was a good guy. He probably believes things a lot easier than I did. But if you read his books and stuff, there's a lot of agreement. I don't know if Evil Black Cat's familiar with him or not. Richard Crow was the one who did the ghost tours in Chicago.
Oh yeah. I can totally hear myself through your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't really know what to do about that.
Yeah, I don't either.
As long as everybody else can hear us fine. You sound fine on the thing, so hanging out with yourself is important. It might be, but it's if you only hang out with yourself, it can be a little weird sometimes.
No, go
ahead.
Here's a joke. Why can't you trust trees?
Because they always leave?
Because they're shady.
Sigh. Sigh. If I tell jokes, it has to be jokes I've heard from people. Like, I bought a box of dehydrated water. I don't know what to add to it. That's a Stephen Wright joke, I think. Yeah. Or I was walking down the street one day, and all of a sudden, I'm wearing my glasses, and all of a sudden, the prescription ran out. So,
Buffy, back up.
Yeah, they're all jokes I'm stealing from other people, so I feel really bad. But it's if you guys listen to Stephen Wright, always really loved him. Always loved George Carlin. I wish Stephen Wright would come back and do more. He was hilarious. I've only ever went to one comedy. I only ever saw a comedian once in person, and it was Janeane Garofalo. And she was hilarious. 3 hours of telling jokes there. But oh yeah, Stephen Wright is just wonderful. Do you like Mitch Hedberg? I've heard a little bit of his stuff, but I'm not familiar enough with him to say whether I like him or not. How much are you lacking to make up the Waverly trip? Quite a bit, actually. It's to pay for all the expenses to have the people go. The goal of the GoFundMe is $1,000 right now. It's last time I checked, it was at 75, and which is completely fine. And I've thanked everybody. And again, I'm not the kind of person who wants to stand up here and say, "Hey guys, donate money." I feel bad even putting something like that out here because you guys come to me to hear scary stories. But you know, if people just push it along on social media, I know that I do mathematically know about the whole 6 degrees thing. A couple of people will pass it on. Tons of people see it. Maybe it'll come across some people who have a lot of money to spare and want to do something for somebody. If not, it's okay. You know, it's just something we're trying. We'll see if it works. But yeah, do I like Jimmy Carter? Yeah, actually, I do. I find him to be such a kind, accepting. He does so much for people. I think Jimmy Carter is great.
Yeah, I don't know how he was as a president, but he seems like a nice guy.
I think Jimmy Carter gets a bad rap as a president because of things that happened. And he wasn't very charismatic. I mean, Ronald Reagan was. One thing you could say about Ronald Reagan, they called him the great communicator. I'm talking about politics. They called him the great communicator because he was so good at talking to people. Bill Clinton was really good at that too. That those were sort of the strength. They both had that strength of knowing how to talk to people. Jimmy Carter didn't have that. But Jimmy Carter as a president, I don't know. But as a person, absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm starting to talk about other stuff. I'm going to let Drew out of the room real quick. But yeah, it's Jimmy Carter, great person. I can't say that I was aware of him as president because, you know, he was president a long time ago before I would have been able to know he was president. So I don't really know. He gets a bad rep, but I really don't know if he deserves it or not. I'll be right back.
So have I told you guys what really gets my goat?
What's that?
I was asking if I'd told them what really gets my goat.
No, but tell them.
Chupacabra.
Oh, God.
I love that joke.
Oh, God. What do you call a deer with no eyes? Blind? That's my guess, blind. No idea. Okay, I know something bad is coming here, so awkward and awful are best kinds of jokes. LOL.
I agree.
So anyhow, while we're doing this too, you know, guys, if you have certain sorts of videos you want to see, let me know. What I'm going to do, I have a story right now, a Ouija board story that somebody submitted a couple of weeks ago. I told them I was going to use it. I feel very bad that I haven't used it yet. So I'm probably going to throw together a Ouija board video. Not my favorite topic, and I know most of my subscribers don't really get into paranormal as much. My paranormal videos don't do good, but I wanted to do that. So we'll be having a Ouija board story. If anybody has a Ouija board story that's happened to you, please, if you can write it down and email it to me, I'd love to put it in there. So I only have one right now. I could spend the time looking for them, and I'll find them, you know. But if you got a story and want to write it down, send it to me at my foxbarking44@gmail.com. I'll love to put it in a video. So let me know. I don't think Evil Black Cat has ever used a Ouija board before.
No.
Well,
Mom was pretty dead set against them when we were kids, so.
Oh yeah, we were not allowed to have it in the house. So
it's like the reason I've never eaten beets before.
Beets?
Yeah.
Mom
hates them.
But she didn't allow them in the house?
Well, she just hates them, so, you know, most kids would eat them because their parents would make them.
Well, see, yeah, Phantom of Darkness, your paranormal videos do great. Hey, when unit number unit 522 does a paranormal video, it does great. It's audiences, and I have people in my audience that like paranormal videos. And I'm not trying to look down on them at all. I appreciate it. I really do, and I want to entertain everybody. But for some reason, they're my videos that do the worst are my paranormal ones. That's why I never finished the 100 Ghostly Tales, was because they didn't really see much interest in it, and it takes a while to put. Probably takes longer to put these videos together than people think, and I don't really want to put together videos that you guys aren't going to enjoy. So, if you ever know of anyone who wants to get married, let me know. I'm an ordained priest. Oh, I'm an ordained minister as well.
And so
So,
am I.
yeah. So is Evil Black Cat. I only ever performed one marriage though, and it was really only me signing the thing. I didn't actually do the ceremony.
Ooh.
Oh, I read your story, Shannon. Could you remind me which one it was really quickly? Um, you know, I've had some people email me to ask me if I could finish that. Uh, I guess I could try. My goal is to try to make people happy and try to entertain you guys. So if you really want me to try to finish it, I will. I just didn't think there was any interest in it anymore. And I don't want to put videos out that you guys don't want to listen to, or I always say listen to, because when I listen to when I watch other guys' videos, I don't tend to watch. I put the phone listen on my phone. I put the phone down, or I listen on my PlayStation. But I don't. I wanted the room to be dark so I can try to get scared. It hasn't happened in a while. Actually, I did get scared about a week ago. I I was walking home. It was about
Ooh.
3 o'clock in the morning. And I think I've mentioned it. Actually made a video where this happened before. When I walk home from the gym, I walk by a graveyard, which doesn't really scare me. But I also walk by this little tiny forest, and it's really freaking scary. And there were these noises coming out of the forest. Now, people know that about a year or two ago, I think it was about a year, I was walking home, and there was this big, dark, like shadowy guy who came out of was in the graveyard and sort of like followed me. And then he went into that woods, and it was really kind of freaky. I made a video about it. I never saw him again, but there was something going on in that forest, and I was just like sitting there thinking, you don't get scared very often. Why don't you walk into the forest? I seriously was there, and I thought there's something or somebody in that little forest. So why don't you walk in it? So I walked closer and closer, and I walked right to the edge of the forest, and I pussed out, completely pussed out, and said, "I'm going home now."
Well, if it was any time other than winter, it's probably a good idea because there's ticks and stuff in those woods.
Oh God. Yeah,
which is way scarier than what it could have been.
That is the last thing that I want. But yeah, ticks. But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. It was interesting, but yeah, I honestly was a little freaked out.
I actually forgot, but you and I did make a Ouija board out of paper once.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
We did a lot of weird stuff as kids.
We did.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you moved it around to things all the time.
Oh, I probably yeah. Okay. Let me tell you guys about that. Why the hell would you agree to walk in the forest? Phantom, I want to be scared. It's not something I experience anymore. It's when I get scared, I'm always like, you freaking idiot. Why'd you do this? Why'd you get scared? So I really wanted to be scared, and that's why I went up to the forest, because I just really wanted to feel some fear, because it just doesn't happen. And as a horror fan, it kind of sucks. You probably did many a night thing as a child. Oh yeah. I tell you how much I hate when people make fake or try to fake you out with ghost videos and stuff like that. The reason why is I was one of those kind of people when I was younger. Um, Deborah's a real scare. Jump scares don't care about. I want to feel that fear that actually stays with you for a while. Always entertain you, John Papa. Thank you very much. I love the fact that you're always around. See, Sage Kath gets it. Enjoy being scared. It's you feel a little bit of adrenaline. You just get this emotion that you don't really get a whole lot. So, and I miss it. I miss it. I really do. But I was answering something, and then I got sidetracked.
Probably about
Oh
being
yeah, oh
naughty
yeah,
as a child.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I would when I was a child, I would fake things to scare people. So I know quite how it is to do that, and that's probably one of the reasons I don't like it when other people do that. So yeah, I would have been one of those people. And go to that haunted house where they torture you. Are you talking about an S&M dungeon? Because if I
Okay,
go to an S&M dungeon, I don't think I'll make a video of that.
Shannon mentioned Blockbuster. I have to say, I worked there for a very long time, and closing. Told you there was an echo.
Oh, well, as
and
long as everyone likes it, that's fine.
that's true. Closing at Blockbuster, usually as soon as we turn the lights out, that place was always scary as hell. And I don't know why. It just was. So I love that episode of South Park where they got the haunted Blockbuster because it captures that feeling so well.
Hey, 97 Scarlet Witch. I am so happy to see you. Everyone say hi to her.
Hello.
I did a Skinwalker video, and I kind of wish that I didn't. And the only reason I did, the only reason I did the Skinwalker video was because I actually got to talk to like an 80-some-year-old Navajo woman who told me the story, and that's the only reason I did it. I regret doing it because we're American Indian too. We're Shawnee, and I kind of feel like I may have offended some people, and I actually because I think two of the stories really didn't portray skinwalkers great, and I felt bad, and I did get a little bit of backlash from some Navajo people that I know that told me that I probably shouldn't have done it. So I hope people enjoyed it, but see, there's so many hokey skinwalker videos though, right? I think at least one of the stories that I was told was hokey. What I should have done was I should have only read one story, and it should have only been the one the Navajo woman told me. Um, that meant something to me. And again, we're not Navajo, we're Shawnee, but people have
Good night,
kind
sleepy
of,
person.
huh?
I say good night to the person who's going to sleep.
Oh, who's going to sleep? Sage Kath?
No, it was a few bad.
Giselle Vance. I'm so bad. I'm going to tongue tie your name. I apologize. You fall asleep to me every night. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I get so, let me just tell you guys, I get so weird about all this because it's so neat. When I look at my channel and how many subscribers, and I don't have as much as like a lot of people, but I don't really care. You know, I like that people here. I see how many subscribers I have. I see how many minutes. This is the coolest thing, that I see how many minutes people have watched my video, and it's pretty freaking amazing. There's more minutes than a person could live. Hundreds of years. I don't know how. It's just a lot of minutes, and it's like, wow, just really blows my mind. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Just wanted to tease all the guys with thoughts of you in the shower, Rebecca. Yeah, she'll come back though. But is it not allowed in the culture sharing skinwalker stories? I don't think that there's anything against it. I just think that it's the fake, the really fake ones that don't really kind of understand the whole skinwalker thing, and you know that people do kind of make that up, and I think that offends some people. Fan of Darkness is fine with subscribers he has. He just wanted 10,000. Of course, you wanted 10,000 because you want to send everyone your naked pictures. You're oh well, okay. Blessing Rodriguez says that the Navajo and is not against it. Thank you. Just know that I do have some Navajo friends, and they kind of gave me a hard time about it. I'm not Navajo, and I'm not really close with those people. I just don't want to offend anybody. So if you might notice, I get really nervous about that. I really, even when I was for a while there on, I think I got a Phantom of Darkness into doing it. I was posting my replies to trolling videos, and I stopped doing that because I just kind of felt it was the wrong thing to do. You know, I don't get many negative comments, but why do I have to really do that anymore? I kind of started feeling bad about it. I did have several people tell me that they didn't like that I did it because they thought that it was conflicting to my personality. That oh, you're so nice on YouTube, but when you come on Twitter, you're a real ass. I'm like, I didn't think that I was, you know. I just try to be funny, and you know, people send me negative comments. So why can't I reply to them negatively? You know, I know, but I don't get many negative comments. I probably have gotten no more than 20 in the history of my channel. Jonathan Alexander, hi KOCT. Hey, how are you doing? I'm so happy to see you. Again, everyone say hi to Jonathan Alexander, who is a great guy. He is so wonderful. He actually financed the computer. He completely bought the laptop by making donations to my channel that I have. My old laptop was really going, and I was pretty poor at the time, and he donated to my channel and got me a new computer. Right, everything got better. He's one of the most directly responsible people for my channel improving, and he's an awesome guy. So lots of love. If you don't mind me telling you, lots of love. If you mind me telling that, I'll take it back. But I think you're great. Always happy to see you. I can't imagine me being an arse. I can be. It's very rare. You're just sweet in Twitter, if not sweeter. Thank you, Superbot. I appreciate that. Sometimes I let one or two comments get to me when the majority of comments are good. I don't respond negatively to negative comments. I actually offer them support and a hug because anyone who hates you really has some deep-seated internal issues mentally, and they do need a hug. Last time that someone gave you a negative comment, you accused them of being horny. So I don't really know where that came from, but it was awesome. Hold on for just 1 second and see if maybe I can get Rainer's going to join. Oh, gosh. That would be really cool. I was hoping he would come in. Sometimes I just forget things. Maybe one day I can get Nordic Vampire on here. That would be awesome. But here, let me find Rainer and give him a link, see if he can join up. That would be really cool. If you guys, I'm hoping you guys like Rainer. He's joined me on a few streams. We collabed before too. Really nice, thoughtful guy. So, I'm not so angry. I'm just horny. Sorry, that got me, Superbot. You're awesome. But what I think is really, really funny, that light on my webcam is on. That's kind of scary. No, the webcam is off. That kind of gave me a little bit of a fright because I don't pretty myself up for these streams, and I'm a little, as I told everybody, I'm so vain. I know that Carly Simon wrote that song about me before I was born because she knew I was coming. So I'm a little awesome cat. Hey, awesome cat. So anyhow, the Phantom is fun, but they do that thing on Twitter where I guess I responded to somebody. I think it was being scared, and I said something like, I told him that he was trying to keep from being horny or something, and he said bullshit. So I'm like, okay, fine, be horny then. And he took that up, and now it's his catchphrase. So now everyone, they go like, fine, be horny then. And it's just like, ooh, what did I start? So, but so I think me and being scared will probably have that written on our tombstones. But I would say that that it's funny. So we'll see. I'll see. Ask Rainer to join. But yep, I sent him a link. Hopefully he'll get me in here. Yeah, he's creative. I mean, I love that. I love we have some creative guys and creative girls, and I really like it. You guys probably know that I edit all the stories sent to me so I can read them in my voice. Most of the stories that they're sent to me, and we agree. The writers and I make an agreement, and I don't force it upon anybody. So don't think that you can submit a story to me and then submit it to somebody else if that's what you want to do. But I talk to them, and a lot of them will say, yeah, we want this video to be exclusive to your channel. So we do that. Didn't you promise us a Skittles song video? If I get 100,000 subscribers, I will make a video dancing in a candy jockstrap to the song I Touch Myself. I keep my word, just like Phantom of Darkness is going to keep his word when he hits 10,000. He's going to show us his nudes, and when I get to 100,000, I'll make the video, and I'll post. I won't post it on my channel. I'll post it on Twitter. So, oh, you want to join the stream, John? Are you serious?
Did you guys hear Rukia meowing?
I didn't, but yeah.
She was actually on the side, which is weird.
Keep in mind one thing. I'll tell you one thing. Anybody who would be scared to see that video, I work out 5-6 times a week. I will not look bad in it. So if Big Kev is still in the room, he's the one who bought it. And it won't be naked like Phantom of Darkness pictures. It'll just be a candy jockstrap. So we'll see. But yeah, I will tell you the honest truth. When I posted that on Twitter, I was drinking. So, but here's the thing. Even though I was drinking, I absolutely will keep my word. So if it happens, it will happen. I completely will keep my word. Has a hunky body. Oh, lordy. By the time I get to, and the way that with how I work out, by the time I get there, it'll be good. But yeah, a promise is a promise. KOC is straight up sexy. Thank you. Oh, Lord. I've been thinking about getting another piercing, actually. I got my eyebrow, my belly button. I had my ear pierced, but I thought it didn't look right for me. I was thinking about getting an industrial, into that bar in the cartilage of your ear. I think that would be kind of cool. But see, maybe I'm trying to see if I can get a few more people in here. So, Rainer, Mr. Haunted just liked the thing, so maybe he'll join up. That would be great. Let me ask him. But
later, Shannon.
What's going on? Who'd you say hi to?
I said later to Shannon.
Oh. Scarlet Witch, I'm going to start tweeting your channel out daily. Haha. Big Kevs, you're ready to see it. Well, it's got to be 100 subscribers. So get me to 100 subscribers. I'm guessing the ones that this will appeal to will probably be women and a couple of guys, which I'm completely fine with. My dad has his nipples pierced. God, I'm scared of that. I just like holding my chest now thinking about it. It's my belly button piercing did not hurt at all. It was like I was so scared. I had 2 chocolate martinis before we went to the piercing place. They're like, you can have somebody back here. I turned like white, and I was just terrified. And it went in, absolutely no problem. Didn't feel it. I'm like, wow. So then I decided a couple of years later I was getting my eyebrow pierced. I thought, well, it'd be the same thing. So I'm sitting there, and there'll be a little bit of language. So. If I offend anybody. But I was in the piercing parlor. They put the clamp on my eyebrow. I thought that was a piercing. I'm like, hey, that didn't hurt. Then she put the piercing through. Fuck! The entire fucking piercing. Sorry, my language again. Was looking at me, and I was like, God, I just showed myself to be a wuss. So,
Beautiful.
oh, Rainer's here. Everybody say hi to Rainer.
Hi, Rainer.
I do pronounce that right, don't I?
Yes, you're one of the few people who does.
Okay. What do other people say?
Some people will mess up the first name and completely pronunciate the last name correctly, and then you have people like my friend Mr. Creepypasta who pronunciate my name Rainer Wellington.
Oh wow.
He knows where he says that, and I'm never going to let him live that down.
That is.
I'm never going to live down. I'm never going to let him live down the moment he called me a Gordon Ramsay dish.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay did. Oh. I like Gordon Ramsay. There's just something about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that he's mean. He's not really mean, anyways. I don't think so.
He's nowhere near as mean
I think it's a bad kid
as he is in the show.
Huh? Well, I don't really think he's even really mean on the show. I mean, he's usually always right. I guess he's kind of aggressive about it.
He's aggressive yet forward in his approach. He doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Right. But you can, if you ever watch like Kitchen Nightmares, he does seem very caring even when he's being kind of a jackass,
Right.
And he's always right, almost, about what's going on, which, So, but yeah. Okay. Anyhow, I was watching an episode a long time ago of American Idol, and he was in the audience, and Simon Cowell was
Night Phantom.
Oh, you leaving us, Phantom? Okay. Well, everyone say goodbye to Phantom of Darkness, and remember, get him to 10,000 subscribers, and he's going to release those nude photos. So 10,000 subscribers, guys. We're getting really, really close. And got to say goodbye to one of the best guys on YouTube. So you have a great night, Phantom. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for trolling. You do a great job at it. But yeah, sorry. He was on American Idol, and Simon Cowell tried to get him to say something about this act that he didn't like, and Gordon Ramsay's like, no, I'm not going to. He couldn't get him to insult the person. He was trying to get him to do it, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So what have you been up to lately, Rainer?
Just trying to finish up final projects for this semester in college, and working on a couple of new things, the new series I plan on bringing to my channel, and some new horror stories. I've got a very creepy one in mind that involves someone being turned into a tree, literally by having the remains turned into fertilizer for a tree.
Yee.
It gets even creepier when you realize later on, like, that it's sentient.
Wow. I can honestly say you do some stuff that really screws with my mind, and that's why I really like your stuff. Your narrator death video, that one really just got me. I mean, that was brilliant. I'll give it to you. That was brilliant.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. When I write my horror is so, how do I want to say it? Kind of typical. I can't do that real psychological thing, which is really ironic, I guess, when you think about it. But as much as I hate to say it, my horror is probably kind of like Stephen King horror, and I really hate to say that. And no disrespect to Stephen King, I mean, he is one of the most prominent members of the horror community,
and another amusing person to follow on Twitter.
Huh?
Another amusing person to follow on Twitter.
Oh yeah, he's great. I do like him. I don't read his stuff anymore. I used to read all his stuff when I was younger, but I kind of grew out of it, I guess. He it's not really as good as it used to be. So, but I guess I'm kind of like that. My story is kind of up front like his, and I kind of make some of the cheesy jokes like he does. So, But your horror, I don't know if there's anybody that I can even compare you to. It's very sort of original. It's very original, and yeah, it really messes with your head. I don't think I've read any other horror, or at least horror writers that really do that well. I mean, Clive Barker has some stuff, early stuff that can kind of like do that. But I can't think of anybody else. Yeah, definitely
Bad
not
joke.
Dean Koontz, huh?
I have a bad joke for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Why do seagulls live by the sea?
I don't know.
Because if they lived by the bay, they'd be bagels.
Oh, lordy, 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 lordy.
What do you call a fake noodle?
I have no idea.
An impasta.
Oh man.
I should probably get off the lame joke page, huh?
This is pretty awful, guys. This is pretty awful.
I wanted to pitch a story by you, KLC.
Okay.
If you would be not that you would be interested in narrating it, but if you as a reader would be interested. The idea is kind of simple. It follows a young man who's working as IT for a high school on the border of America and Mexico. And this is anecdotal because it actually relates to someone in my real life. And he ends up deciding to go into Bitcoin and loses a lot of money overnight. Yet he's fairly tactful when it comes to tracking down information, and is a bit of a hacker himself, well versed in certain areas of the deep web and in information hacking, as well as IP following. And he was able to track down the hacker. Well, he tracks him down, finds him dead, and realizes that on the screen where his body is laid next to, there's a countdown for a bomb somewhere in this warehouse that he is inside of, and it is only a matter of time before either the bomb goes off or one of the latent snipers who happen to come in catches him within their crosshairs and kills him. And the only way out is to agree to become a part of a operation that the previous person next to the laptop was supposed to undergo, known as Operation Liliandis. And so, of course, you know how the story goes for the most part at the beginning. He takes the offer and becomes a hitman, hunting down criminals of the deep web according to their bounty given to him by the program host, Liliandis. I'm not going to spoil anything else for you. That's all you get.
Wow. You're writing that now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I need to know exactly make sure you let me know right when you're done with that, because that is interesting. I want to know what happens with that.
Oh yeah, I have a couple of narrators in mind who have already wanted to get this story ahead of time before I post it to my website and to No Sleep, so that they can be the first ones on the bandwagon, because if it blows up, then for them it's going to be a massive breakthrough.
Yeah.
But I don't really care about it getting upvoted a lot. It's one of those stories that I know is going to have a market somewhere. I just have to get it to the right people. It's deep web, it's Hitman story, and it involves AI in a modern, close to our own future. So right. I think that will appeal to a lot of people.
Oh, I think it will. What do you guys think of that? That sounds like a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, your imagination. I kind of wish that I should write a horror story where I steal your imagination. That's very Tales from the Dark Side, though, isn't it? There was an episode of Tales from the Dark Side with rest in peace, Harry Anderson. But Harry Anderson was in Tales from the Dark Side where I forget what it was. I think maybe it was his clock or something that started telling stories. It became sentient, and he was a bad writer. And the clock, whatever, it was a piece of equipment. Maybe it was his answering machine. His answering machine would write the stories, and when it wrote the stories, he finally started getting recognition. Just saying goodbye to John Papa, one of the greatest people. He's always here for me, always watches my videos, and he's been with me for years. Leaving the chat. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm always happy to have you here. So you have a great night. But yeah, the answering machine starts telling him stories, and he starts taking those stories and selling them, and he's working again, and then he becomes subservient to the answering machine because the answering machine's going to he can't do it on his own. So basically, he becomes like a slave to the answering machine. Uh, so that kind of reminded me when I said I wanted to steal your imagination. It kind of reminded me of that. I really like that Tales from the Dark Side. That's one of my favorite shows ever. It's not really the most imaginative, and it could be really really cheesy. But I like having some cheese in my horror. So the intro always got me. Yeah, the man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But
Indeed.
there, hmm?
Indeed.
but there is an underworld. Wait, is that how it goes?
I don't
A
know.
place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side. But yeah, I like it. And, I mean, basically, if you ever seen Creep Show, Tales from the Dark Side was actually when they did Creep Show, George Romero wanted to make it into a TV show. So he decided not to call it Creep Show, though. He called it Tales from the Dark Side. But Tales from the Dark Side is supposed to be the television continuation of Creep Show. That's why Tom Savini, if you guys are familiar with Tom Savini, the makeup special effects artist, he always said that that Tales from the Dark Side of the movie was what he considered to be Creep Show 3. If anybody's ever seen Creep Show 3, it's one of the worst movies ever made. It was absolutely freaking awful. But the Spider Lady episode, of course, I actually have on Wikia, I actually started a Tales from the Dark Side wiki, so and I've had that up for I put all the work. It's not anywhere near finished because I don't really have time to do it. But so I had to watch all the shows and become familiar with them so I could write descriptions because there's not really any good Tales from the Dark Side resource on the internet. So I wanted to make it. So Friday the 13th, Jason creator Tom Savini. Yep, he was the one who did the makeup in the first movie. Made Jason. He came back for part 4 only if he got to kill Jason for good. And then they brought him back, and he always says, "I actually met Tom Savini. He did a lecture at my when I was in community college. It was, and he was a great guy, but it was he said, nope, all the Friday the 13th movies after the 4th one, that's not really Jason. I killed Jason. That was in my contract that I'd only do it if they never brought him back again, and they brought him back again. So yeah, he was pretty upset about that. But he was funny because the lecture was supposed to be like 2 hours long only, and he was taking questions, and like the whoever the teachers were, the professors there that were doing it, were trying to tell him to stop. He's like, I'm not going to stop. These guys are asking me questions. It went on for nearly 4 hours. He was great, though. He was a great and interesting guy. So I know he was pretty upset when George Romero recently passed away, too.
Sorry, Drew.
So anybody follow Freddy's Nightmares? I have all the Freddy's Nightmares on my computer. Yes,
I remember them from when we were kids.
They're. Have you ever seen any of those, Rainer? Freddy's Nightmares.
I don't recall.
There's a few really mind screws on that too. Some of them, Freddy Krueger was just like the host of it. I mean, he was in a couple of them, but most of them he was just like the host, kind of like Alfred Hitchcock, and the story, or like the Crypt Keeper.
I'd like to have the video. I mean, the board game we used to have.
I have that Freddy Krueger board game. It's right in here.
You do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We can play it later.
We should play that on Jerry's stream sometime when he wants to do that.
Yeah, he wants to play. Some board games on his stream because he has a video game stream, so that would be fun.
That'd be cool.
Robert Englund is the best. Yes, he is. I love him. That's why the new Freddy Krueger movie is not a Freddy Krueger movie because it's not Robert Englund's. They won't accept anybody else in that role.
I did not like that movie.
I know. I did, but I go back and forth. So everyone told me that Cube was such a fantastic psychological horror film, and I watched it. It really wasn't. It was interesting, but it wasn't what everyone told me it was. If you guys saw that, or if you right now, I don't even know if you're much of a horror movie watcher or not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, you weren't saying anything, so I thought maybe we talked on a subject you didn't want to talk about. So,
Oh, no.
that's Dead Silence, the Magic Conch Shell. Beware the Stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, be sure you never ever scream. Yep. I was one of the few people that liked Dead Silence. I don't know if you did. You ever see that one?
Oh man, I do not believe I have yet.
Yeah, it was it's a James Wan movie, the guy who did Saw and the Conjuring movies.
Oh yeah.
The guy that I mentioned last week.
I'm familiar with the theme song, but I have not yet watched the film.
Yeah, I think it's decent. A lot of people hate it though. So just so you know, best horror film is Dead Birds. You know, if Deb Rose gives me that recommendation, I'm going to watch it because Deb knows her horror. I have not seen that or heard of that, but I will definitely, on your recommendation, watch it. I'm writing it down. Let me write it down real quick so I don't forget.
Better not ignore your cats. Your cats could eat you.
Yeah, they were actually like The Descent. I saw The Descent when I was in California. That was right before I started community college, and I went out to California for 3 weeks to be with a friend. It was nice because I was involved in sort of a legal thing at the time, and I got a $28,000 settlement. And while I was in California, that went through. That was nice. That was a really nice time. But we saw The Descent, and I don't really remember much about it. So, Dead Alive, that's the Peter Jackson movie, isn't it? The one that people say is, I think Peter Jackson did that one horror movie in the early 90s. I think it was Dead Alive that people consider the goriest movie ever made. We were watching something, and I don't remember what it was, but they were talking about House of a Thousand Corpses, and they called it a gore fest. I don't really think House of a Thousand Corpses was a gore fest. You know, it disturbed me. I'm probably the only person in the world that did disturb. And I see, as I'm getting kind of weird now even talking about it. It's a really psychological thing for me. But I don't think it was a gore fest. It was just kind of twisted and kind of sick. I don't know. You guys, I know Christina hasn't seen it. Did you see that one, Rander?
Not yet. Not yet. For me, I'm playing a lot of catch up with horror because as much as I am a horror author, I am still playing catch up as a horror viewer. Oh man, I didn't grow up watching a lot of horror films as much as everybody else did. I was kind of forced into horror 2 years ago as a dare, and I'm still playing catch up with it currently.
Yeah, we got started on it way too young. My parents got divorced when I was 10, and my mom didn't really have a job or anything. Oh, bye, the Magic Conch Shell. Thank you for showing up, and it's been great having you here. My mom didn't have a job or anything, so she really couldn't get custody of us. My dad was in the Navy, and was the Navy. But when he was at work, the Navy provided a babysitter for us. So he easily got custody of us, and he would often have us watch things on TV that Evil Black Cat was 5, I was 10, my brother was 12, and he would watch those movies like Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, those cannibal movies that came out in the late 70s, early 80s, and having kids watch that, and I remember one of the most the cannibal movies. If anyone's seen the original movie, The Hitcher, he had us watch that. And if at a young age, and I loved horror really, really quickly, but I'm not ever going to have kids. But if I have kids, they're not going to be watching horror until they're at least, I'd say, 14 years old, maybe 13.
Agreed. And he always wondered why I was always afraid of everything. I wonder.
I was afraid of so many things up until I started to write horror. When I started to actually sit down and write horror, I did it less because, I wanted to do it. I did it because I was facing my fears as part of a bet that I had made to my best friend at the time, who has become my editor. And just doing it for a few months here and there, and then by the time January rolled around in 2016, he told me to take one last ditch effort into the dare. If I did it, he'd send me some money, and we could call it an end there. And the end of the dare, and it was part of a bet, was that I could get one of my stories narrated within the end of the month, since it had been 3 months that I had been writing horror by then. And so I took his dare, did it, and entered the contest that Mr. Creepypasta hosted through the app Horror Amino. I entered in several stories, but the one that, of course, the reason I would be telling you this is if I won. The one that ended up winning the competition was the last one I submitted in 30 minutes before the deadline.
Oh, and you won it? Yeah, I remember when that was happening. I didn't enter that, but I don't know. I get kind of weird about my horror. My horror again is like a lot like the my stories on the channel. So I don't think any of those would have any of mine would have won. So
it was one out of hundreds of submissions.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a story I wrote called The Voices, one that I've actually kind of revised the ending of, because I thought the ending wasn't exactly that great. But I revised it, and the original version won his competition by an overwhelming majority. And since then, I've been writing horror, continuing to face more of my fears, and I no longer have any major fears anymore. Just
really?
I've desensitized myself through my writing.
Huh.
And the last story here that I'm working on right now, the main one I'm working on currently, which is a short novel that I'm going to have published, is pretty much the culmination of the last parts of my dark history that are going to culminate into one story. This is pretty much like everything I've been working up to this point. And that is Operation Liliandus, as I stated before.
Right. Right. I'm trying to relate, but I am going to say this. I became obsessed with horror, as my parents got divorced. And it was all through movies, which is probably why, my horror is different, cause yours came from what I think a more creative place than mine did. Mine was, watching movies and then started reading the like Stephen King novels and stuff like that. So I think, ours came from different places, which is probably why they're so different. It's probably why you, I would say you are definitely more creative than I am, without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm flattered. Thank you.
But yeah, we our horror comes from different places, and mine was, horror movies, and so I guess this may be why I'm more I'm more. What do I want to say? I'm desensitized to some stuff. The stuff that sort of mind twisting stuff. I'm not desensitized to. So your stuff will sometimes scare me, and it's not so easy now. There's 3 people in the house, and I try to sometimes get points where I'm the only one who's awake. I want people to be asleep, and then I turn on the PlayStation and watch. I'll watch you. I'll watch Mortis. Hey, welcome back, John Papa. Always good to have you. Phantom. The thing is right now, the true stories don't scare me anymore. I think when I first I think we talked about this last week. The whole true story thing kind of started with Mr. Nightmare, because before that everyone was like just doing creepypastas, and then he started doing some. Well, maybe that started with him, but he was the one who made it popular, and he was doing it, and it started getting more views than his creepypastas. So he started doing more of them, and then a lot of us started like jumping on and doing it too. But the true ones don't scare me. I don't think any. I mean, it's weird because people tell me that they're more scary because they're true, and I can understand that. I really can, but they don't scare me. It's a really well written creepypasta. Those are the ones that get me. I'm trying to think of one that scared me. There were a few of them. There's one that Chris McPasta did about this guy who was going to commit suicide, and he was on a bridge. And I wouldn't mind narrating that one. It's really short, but he was going to commit suicide, and he was on the bridge, and some guy came and talked him out of it. And I mean, he left the suicide notes and everything, and he talked him out of it and said he's going to take him out to to get dinner or something. And he gets in the guy's car, and he sees that there's no door handle on the car, and the guy handcuffs him inside, and I guess he's going to take him and torture him or something. And the guy realizes when it happens that he left a suicide note, so people might not be looking for him in the same way. So that kind of got to me. It was a really short one, but that kind of scared me a little bit. And I guess you could say that's sort of a psychological scare. You're about ready to kill yourself, and someone talks you out of it. So when they talk you out of suicide, you're like, life. Maybe he got some hope that he didn't have before, and then he gets in the car and it's immediately all taken away. So yeah, you're probably going to die now, but it's not going to be on the terms that you wanted to. And that takes all that hope for life that he gained back away immediately. And I think that's why it kind of scared me a little bit. But it was a good one. I haven't been able to listen to him in a long time, but there's just too many guys out there, and I try mostly to spend my time listening to the guys that I'm friends with. Rebecca, I thought you already left, and there you are. But she's saying good night again. So if you're leaving, good night. Love you. Thank you for being here. You're just an absolutely wonderful friend. So, but yeah, I wish that I could listen to him more. But I listen to you. I listen to a lot. I have to say the guilty pleasure. I consider Chills to be a guilty pleasure. I don't really get scared from his stuff, but I just love to listen to him.
Me too.
Yeah. Do you listen to him at all, Rainer?
On occasion. I'm not exactly a rabid Chills fan as many other people are, but I do listen to maybe 1 or 2 videos every now and again.
Yeah. It's the voice, and I know that he does it on purpose, because if you listen to his old videos, he doesn't talk like that. But it kind of gets me, yeah. But it's not something I do a lot. It's not a lot either. It's a guilty pleasure. I listen to most of the ones I listen to are you guys that I talk to, because there's so many of us narrators, and we only have so much time to watch YouTube videos. So I listen to the guys that I'm friends with. Listen to you. I listen to Unit. I listen to Phantom of Darkness, Mortis Media, Being Scared, The Devil's Interval.
Well, I have something new coming that is going to be more compelling than just plain horror narrations.
Oh, care to share?
Sure. Imagine Darkology by Blue Lava 6 meets Welcome to Night Vale, in other words. What I want to do with this series is take a particular topic in pop culture, in horror, in psychology, or in any major form of media, break it down to its more darker components, and tell a story about it through unordinary means. There will be a segment in the show where I talk about the topic briefly. I quickly transition to a story. Somewhere in the story, I can bring up. I'm thinking of ways to either be able to throw in jokes in between, or to have a joke segment based around the topic. And then the story ends like every other horror narration video would, except by the time it's over, you've left with a whole new perspective on the topic. It's a cross between Rob Dyke, a normal narration story, and Welcome to Night Vale. You hear an explanation about it first, then you hear an original story based around the topic. You have you go through and listen to it. There'll be jokes in between, almost like as if you're listening to a radio station or a podcast, and the end of it is going to relate back to it in the closing of the show, relating to the universe that I'm writing currently, or the multiverse. It's going to be kind of like a radio show I want to run, an internet radio show. And I'm going to be calling it Radio Station 97.1.
That's pretty creative there. So when do you think you're going to have that available to listen to?
Hopefully, depending on how finals go, I'm going to try and have the first episode available by March, by May 19th.
May 19th, okay, not much. I look forward to that. Everybody make sure to check that out when that's available.
It'll be available somewhere around that time.
And saying goodnight to Vina, who's leaving. Thank you for being here. It's been great having you. So look forward to you.
Vina.
Always like when you comment. You're great. And if you're going to sleep, sleep well. And hi, Matthew. That's my favorite name, as you probably know. I think if I ever had a boy child, which I never will, but if I did, that would probably be the name I name him. But
I like James. I always have.
Which
is really funny because my favorite girl name is Lily, and that was before Harry Potter.
Yeah, but everyone make sure to keep a watch on Rainer's channel so you can see that when it comes out, because that sounds pretty interesting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm leaving normal narration behind. And I think eventually what I'll do is I'll compile all of the different stories that I'm working on for that series and make an anthology out of that.
I can't wait to see that. That's going to be great. But yeah, I understand doing that, doing something. This is sometimes what we do with just the normal narration can seem kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess it can seem a little monotonous sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's some people. I liked it when Unit he was doing only true stories for a long time, was like all of a sudden, I'm just gonna do whatever I feel like doing. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna do whatever I feel like doing. I'm like, thank you. That's what you need to do. And I've had a couple of people get mad at me when I did Psychosis. People were like, why are you doing this? Everything on your channel is supposed to be original. Why? It's like, because I love the story. I mean, that's one of my favorite creepypastas. So I wanted to narrate it. I've only done a few of them, but yeah, I actually would like to do a little bit more. They don't really get a lot of views, but I don't really care. I'll keep doing true stories because I get them and it's fun. But yeah, I'd like to put some more stuff in there. Creepypastas, maybe write a few of my own stories. I had Celestial Nor narrated a story that I wrote called The Hatchet Man.
I love Hatchet Man.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever, if Rainer, if you ever heard that one, but it's I don't. It's supposed to be, you know, it's about fear about things that aren't really there. When I was, I remember when I was a kid, I saw this commercial for a security system for the house, and part of the ad showed this. You saw this. You were looking through a bedroom door, and a guy was hiding on the side of the door with a big hatchet holding up in the air, and you know the other room, the room that the door was to. He was in there, but the door was open. The other room was lit up, and you could see a woman walking towards the door with a man holding the hatchet, and that always scared the crap out of me. Which I guess was the point. They were trying to sell security systems,
Right.
but yeah, I that's where the Hatchet Man came from. And I started thinking, you know, people are scared so much of things that aren't there. So that's what I named it. So whenever I get the you're scared of something that may not be there, I call that the Hatchet Man. We're losing a lot of people. It keeps on slinking down. Maybe I've been talking a bit too long. Down 24 viewers.
But Hatchet Man is definitely way more creative than Chop Chop Suey.
Chop Chop Suey. Oh God. Hold on for 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. You two talk amongst yourselves. Be right back.
Okay. That was just something he made up when we were kids and we went on like some set of not exactly grandparents. They were step grandparents took us to some caves, and he was just trying to scare me and told me that there was some guy who hid behind the stalagmites and the stalactites that would jump out and kill me and turn me into Chop Suey, and his name was Chop Chop Suey. He was usually good for scaring me. It's quiet.
You guys got really quiet there for a second. No, Oni came in and he had to talk to me about something real quick, so I had to stop there for a second. But yeah, my thing, I was one of those brothers. I was the one that always tried to scare. When Drew's back.
Yeah, she was in here with me for a little while.
Oh, she's in here now. Hey, Drew. You guys hear that?
Yep.
Okay, that's my Drew. Yep. And sorry, she's mine. Mine. You can never have her back. You're like thinking to yourself, ha 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 ha, I finally got rid of her. But yeah, I was one of those kids. I always tried to scare people. I dressed up like Freddy Krueger and tried to scare some people once. That was fun. The Chop Chop Suey thing. Yeah, that was that was just dorky. But what were we, like 14? I was 14, 15 years old. Of course, yeah, I'm gonna make silly stuff. And all my writing from that time, I used to write horror poetry. And the Hatchet Man originally started out as horror poetry, and people wanted me to write about Chop Chop Suey, but it's like, you know, that was just me being silly. So I want that cat. Who, Drew? Hey, Drew. How you doing, Drew? She just doesn't want to talk when I got on the chair. I don't know what it is. So, but yeah, yeah.
Same reason Ichigo doesn't do anything when you want him to, when you take video of him.
Yeah, you guys who watch my videos probably know that when you get to the end of the videos and you watch Ichigo, I always try to get videos of him doing stuff, but he'll just lay there and sleep, or he'll open his eyes and look at me like, get that camera off me. But yeah, it's like Drew's not going to meow now that I want her to. She's trying to rub it up against the puff filter right now. About to jump into an empty box and knock it over.
Oh,
Re-
I saw that. Well, what was his name? It escapes me, but I just saw his comment. Yes, John Pova was asking if I'd ever heard of Dr. Creepin.
Okay.
He has probably read more works of mine than any other narrator I can currently think of. He has a 2-hour video of my works narrated on his channel.
Oh, that's awesome.
I highly recommend you check it out when you get the chance. But if you search my name up, it's one of the first videos to pop up.
Mhm. I think I'm subscribed to him, but it's it's hard to listen to everybody. But now that you told me to, I definitely will.
I wouldn't recommend listening to the whole thing, but if you want to hear just some of what I've written, it's a good place to start for sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've listened to a lot of your stuff on your channel that you've done. So I said, I feel bad because a lot of times people, I guess you guys a lot of times don't know that I'm listening because I listen on the PlayStation a lot. So I could like do other things on my computer. So I listen on the PlayStation and I can't always comment because, go from video to video, but I do listen. So I really need to be a little bit more communicative with you guys and make sure I'm leaving messages on your things and telling you, hey, I like this stuff like that. So I need to do that. That's important because I like it when you guys do that to me. So I had to, so I'm going to definitely try to get better at that. So lately I've been commenting a lot on Phantom of Darkness, but he's just my little taunting boy. So he's fun. He takes the abuse. Really. So he's a good kid. He's good.
During your live streams.
What's that?
And then he returns it during your live streams.
Yeah, but he does it great, so I like it. I think all this stuff I said, the way he was talking in the chat today. I don't know if you guys noticed it. It was almost like a couple times he seemed like he was a little fearful of getting to the 10,000 subscribers because he kind of was being like almost like he started to believe it himself. I totally made this up. He never said any such thing, but I keep saying it over and over again. And tonight, at certain parts, he almost seemed like he believed it. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole, yes, Vincent Price is awesome. I love just everything. I love that Tim Burton. If you guys saw that Tim Burton cartoon that he did when he was first starting out, it was about a kid who a little cartoon about a kid who loved Vincent Price and wanted to be like him, and they showed him like wanting to like murder his aunt and stuff like that. It was a really early Tim Burton cartoon, but it was really, really neat. Kind of really got me when I was a kid. It was so I don't really know how to explain it unless you guys have seen it. But I'm sure everyone's familiar with Tim Burton, so you know what kind of stuff he tends to put out there. Has he done anything lately?
I don't know.
Because I mean, it's I always like him, but it's like but I don't know. I absolutely adored Sleepy Hollow.
Right.
Yeah, did I laugh there?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard a
It's
laugh.
a weird little inhalation thing.
Oh, he's doing Dumbo. Okay. A live adaptation of Dumbo.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. And Danny DeVito is going to be in it, so I love Danny DeVito, but that's kind of strange. A live version of Dumbo. Okay. I can't even really remember the actual Dumbo that well, to tell you the truth.
I don't really. It was very depressing the last time I watched it.
Well,
A lot of the older ones are, huh?
The Magic Kong Show has a good question. What's your favorite cartoon? Does anime count, or is it just like American cartoons, like kids cartoons.
I want to say American.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. What about you, Evil Black Cat? Do you know?
I'm thinking.
I think the answer is pretty easy for me.
Oh, My Little Pony.
My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, easily. I absolutely adore that cartoon.
I'm also fond of reruns of Hey Arnold.
Yeah, I haven't really seen much of that, but it's they have that thing on there where that one girl like loves him but's mean to him,
Right.
and you know they were never going to resolve that.
Well, what's funny
And
is it actually came out in the movie.
did they resolve it?
They chose to pretend it never happened. The kids actually choose to pretend that it didn't
Oh.
happen.
See, I don't like things that aren't going to be resolved, like Gilligan's Island. You know they're not
Mhm.
going to get off the island. That's the entire point of the show. So
Mhm.
I couldn't watch it. Star Trek Voyager. You knew they were not going to get home in the episodes
Until the end, yeah.
until the end. So every episode where they thought they were doing something where they could get home, you knew wouldn't happen. So
Yeah, I thought that was the worst idea.
I found, and it just so happens that the ship was named Voyager. So yeah, it that's the reason Hey Arnold had, and it's not as big a plot device,
Mhm.
but when you know it's never going to be settled, I find that frustrating.
True.
Like, so that's why My Little Pony is different. The Cutie Mark Crusaders, you thought that was going to continue forever, that they never get their cutie marks, and then they did. And
Mhm.
God, I feel I sound like a real dork right now, don't I? Oh,
I don't think so.
I can't watch Tom and Jerry. I Tom and Jerry disturbs me to no end. I cannot watch it. I'm not even kidding. It's just freaky. The stuff that happens to Tom all the time. His tail getting chopped into pieces, him
Mhm.
swallowing a whole bunch of bees. Don't you believe it?
Mhm.
The time that him and Jerry decide to commit suicide, it disturbs me. But mostly, what disturbs me is the stuff that happens to Tom, the being cut up, being blown up, the mostly the being cut up stuff. And it's just I just can't watch it. It's I watched it as a kid, but it really, really disturbed me. So, you a Tom and Jerry guy, Rainer?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I was more of a Looney Tunes kind of person.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh, me too. I love Looney Tunes. Daffy Duck's my favorite.
Mm, mine is Sylvester.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like
I lo-
Daffy and Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Well,
he's a certified genius.
I absolutely liked a lot of the old Daffy Duck stuff before he was evil. He's not really evil. Before he became a bad guy, he was so Bugs Bunny like. But I love when he does that woohoo, 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 and jumps all over the
Mhm.
place when he goes insane. I love that. They really okay. Hold on. Talk about a cartoon or something right now. I got to get Drew. She's getting into stuff. I'll be right back.
What about what am I thinking? Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh yeah, I like Courage. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen a ton of it, but I remember like just a year ago or something I started going through the episodes again. But yeah, I always like that.
Sorry about that. Some of the cartoons that Nicole used to watch as a kid, never realized how bad they were. Yeah, it's just some of them are just. I'm sorry if I interrupted anybody. I didn't have my little earbuds in.
Nope.
Gummy bears. I liked gummy bears.
I love gummy bears. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I tried to go back and watch it back around maybe 5 years ago. I was getting it from Netflix, and it just didn't hold up.
Mm.
But I like the new one, actually.
It was done pretty good. I people remember in high school when some people always called me Darkwing Duck
Hmm.
because they thought I was egotistical as him. Go, yeah. So yeah, people always some people called me Darkwing Duck, so that was fun.
Yeah, I love Darkwing Duck.
Snorks, let's get dangerous. Snorks was weird, wasn't it?
Yes. I
Yeah,
recall liking it back then, but I was a kid.
yeah. I mean, think Snorks was weird. I was a big Smurfs person for a long time. I even had a Smurf birthday party. I had Smurf sheets.
I had a strawberry shortcake birthday party
I remember that.
and sheets.
The Magic Conch Shell wants to know if I've ever watched Pokemon.
Oh.
I am a Pokemon fiend, and the funny thing, it's only something that's happened recently. I don't work in the wrestling forum that Nicole and Big Kev also come to. They the owners of the site are big Pokemon people, and they talk about it a lot. So I wanted to find out about it. So I bought a couple of the games for my 3DS and played those and liked them. But what really got me was the card game. I am completely and utterly obsessed with the Pokemon card game. And so, yeah, I have seen some of the cartoons. I haven't watched them all. There's quite a bit of them. But I do that. I play the card game every day online. So I absolutely freaking love it. So, yeah, I am a Pokemon fiend. I can't even tell you how many Pokemon cards I have, too. So it's wonderful. Yeah. So, yes, I do. And I love it.
Do you remember Dinosaurs?
I do remember Dinosaurs.
I loved that show.
How about you, Rainer? Ever see that one?
No, I haven't.
That's where the Dorkosaurus thing comes from.
Oh yeah.
They were like anthropomorphic dinosaurs, and one of them always called the other one Dorkosaurus. And here's the funniest thing about that: I own the trademark for that because no one trademarked it, and I didn't.
Really?
I bought the trademark for it. Yeah, so it's actually not Dorkosaurus; it's Dorkosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
So I own the trademark for that, and it's because I wrote a story. I might even start sharing it, but it's not really. It's kind of not really horror. It's kind of like a Buffy ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Dorkosaurus Rex. It's about this kind of dorky kid at school who accidentally acquires these powers and stuff, and he's like thinks, "Ooh, I'm going to become a Jedi and stuff," but he's dorky about it. But he doesn't realize how serious the responsibility of having those powers are, and he kind of steals them from his best friend who was going to use them for evil purposes, and it sets up a conflict. And it's just called Dorkosaurus Rex because the guy he's not don't get me wrong, he's not like you wouldn't big nerd like Martin from The Simpsons or anything. He's kind of like Buffy, but just a little dorkier. So maybe like if you watched Buffy, he'd be like, what's his name now? I just blanked. One of my favorite characters. Who am I thinking of? From the trio.
Oh,
Andrew.
Yeah.
You ever watch Buffy? My character is a lot like Andrew. So I don't know how else to explain it, but that's my favorite show. So it's no wonder I rip it off. So. Which no, I'm not gonna pull James Cameron there and what happened with James Cameron and what's his name, the author they acknowledged the Terminator, Harlan Ellison,
right?
Yeah, which is when I read through and I actually watched. I don't know if you guys know about that, but Harlan Ellison threatened to sue because he said that the first 3 minutes of the Terminator was a ripoff of his story from The Outer Limits called The Soldier. And He threatened to sue. They decided not to do it because James Cameron had done an interview with a magazine, and they were talking about the Terminator. And he's like, "Yeah, I just ripped off a few Harlan Ellison stories." And there was that comment that, because if you watch The Soldier and you watch the Terminator, there's nothing. It's. I'm sorry. I like Harlan Ellison, and I'm sorry if you guys, any of his fans, are out there, but it was a bullshit claim. It really was a bullshit claim, and I'm not a big James Cameron guy. I don't. I think he's kind of an ass, but it was bullshit. He shouldn't have done it. And so whenever you watch the Terminator, it'll always say right at the end, acknowledgement to the works of Harlan Ellison, because that was one of the deals they made, and he apparently also got $400,000.
Damn.
Yep. Harlan Ellison is a nice enough guy. You could even talk to him. He doesn't really do much on the internet, but you can communicate with him mildly. He's a nice enough guy. Kind of a bitter old crank, but I kind of like that. Oh, remember O.J. Simpson was meant to play the Terminator? Yes, I remember that too. No, Harlan Ellison didn't write the Terminator. James Cameron did. But when they asked James Cameron, I'll just repeat that, because Kelly Alves, I think, I hope I pronounced that right, asked. But no, he didn't write the Terminator. He had nothing to do with it. But he accused Cameron of ripping him off and threatened to sue. And the producers of the Terminator didn't want to go through the lawsuit because, like I said, in an interview, when they asked him how he wrote the Terminator, Cameron said, "I just ripped off a few Harlan Ellison stories." So they had that comment, which meant that it might work. I think if it went to court, James Cameron would have won. But no, Harlan Ellison really had nothing to do with the Terminator. But he will always have, for the rest of time, because of the contract, every production of the original movie will say acknowledgement to the works of Harlan Ellison. KOC, since you like horror so much, do you like any heavy metal at all? A little bit. I'm not really big into it, and I guess it depends on what you consider heavy metal. Some people have different ideas of what heavy metal is. I'll listen to a few songs by Metallica. I guess that counts as heavy metal, right? Guys, support me. Support me here.
Don't look at me. I get confused. There's so damn many different types now.
I remember younger and people consider heavy metal. I wouldn't have considered heavy metal. People used to tell me that Bon Jovi was heavy metal. It definitely is not.
No.
People used to say that though.
Hair metal, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people tried to say that hair metal was also heavy metal, but it's not. So Metallica. My brother used to listen to Iron Maiden. I never got into that. But I'm always open to it. If there's songs. Who was the band that did the Pet Sematary song? That wasn't the Ramones? No, it wasn't. I Don't Want to Be Buried in the Pet Cemetery. Was that the Ramones?
I have no idea.
I know that they're not heavy metal; they're punk, but I think it was. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But it's I know there's also somebody who did a song for Ramones. The Ramones did a Pet Sematary song, and there was a song at the end of, I consider it one of the most 80s songs ever. There was a song at the end of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 where the Dream Warriors song. I think that was done by a heavy metal band, but it wasn't heavy metal. But yeah, it's hard for me to actually know because I don't know. Dokken? Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of them. But yeah. Sabbath, Maiden, VOC. Yeah, some of it, but only a little bit. So I've heard some and it's nice, but yeah, that was metal. Yeah, okay. I love that. I love that song. The Dream Warriors, where was it? Don't want to sleep no more. We're the Dream Warriors, and maybe tonight you'll be gone. I love that. That's so freaking 80s. But yeah, that was a good song. So yeah, I don't listen to any heavy metal religiously, but there are certain songs. Yeah, I'm a dream warrior. I don't want to dream no more. I love it. Yeah. BOC is like Pink Floyd and Black Sabbath had a baby. Wow,
Hmm.
that kind of makes me want to listen to it. I know Christina, Evil Black Cat. I just called you by your name, but Evil
Yeah, you
Black
can, uh,
Evil Black Cat is a Pink Floyd person, right?
yeah.
Yeah, she likes Pink Floyd. Her I don't want to give too much information, but she had a living boyfriend for a while, and they listened to a lot of classic rock. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. That's mostly what you guys listen to.
I seem to like music that was way before I was born.
Um, for one of I think it was one of your birthdays. What? No, it's when I graduated from community college. We went to that karaoke bar, and
Mhm.
and Evil Black Cat did Mercedes Benz by Janis Joplin.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
That was
I'm a
fun.
huge Janis Joplin fan, and I got her. I think it's me that got you onto it,
Yes,
but um,
and that was because of the lip sync contest.
she came out with lip sync contest and did Piece of My Heart.
And what sucked is I totally smelled like bleach because Chet put my jeans through the wash with extra bleach to try to
Oh,
bleach them out more.
well, and you practiced the whole thing with thinking there would be a microphone stand. They didn't give you the microphone stand.
No, they didn't.
It's messed up the entire act. But I remember when she came out, she was looking looking like a hippie and stuff. And one of the guy in the crowd said, "Hey, Janice, where's the weed?"
I don't think I ever noticed that.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
Janice, where's the
funny.
weed? Yeah. Yeah. Uh, but yeah. And then they were like, "You should have done. You should have done." They were like, "You should have done." Um. I just blinked again. Her most famous song, written by Chris Christopherson.
Me and Bobby McGee.
Me and Bobby McGee, and I'm like sitting here trying to. Duh. I mean, I can freaking play Me and Bobby McGee on the guitar. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember it. Do you remember Wendy O. Williams? She was like Janice on steroids. I know that name.
It's about
I,
40 minutes to cat feeding time, so they're all coming and bugging me and being like, "Okay, you gonna feed us soon?"
yeah, we've been going here for quite a long time, haven't we? I'm glad you guys. I'm glad both of you are in here. I was kind of. I think I was doing okay by myself, but it's better to have a couple people to talk to, and you both are very interesting. We need to get Evil Black Cat to do our next Spirit Math video, though. Spirit Math.
Oh,
And what
we
did
get
you
some
need for it
batteries
again?
tomorrow. I need a mouse.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you my Warcraft mouse.
Okay, yeah, because I can't stand using this touch mouse because the buttons aren't really very good.
Right. Yeah, I'll give you that. Right after the stream, I'll let you have that. Just make sure you have to keep it away from Ichigo.
I know.
Because I mean that mouse is like my baby. So
Yep.
what is my birthday month? Are you part of the November Squid? No, my birthday is May 23rd. So it's coming up. And I want
Hi, Nicole.
it's why I'm going to try to put up a lot of videos so I'll have a little bit more revenue so I could do something for my birthday. I don't really like when people spend money on me. It really makes me feel awkward. Even if my mom and stuff do it. Don't get me wrong. I like getting presents, but I try to minimize how much money people spend on me because it's sometimes things can be hard and stuff, and it's not always about the money. It's about the situation. So, say we went out to one of my birthdays. My mom, and my sister were going to take me out to this Japanese restaurant I like and get a tea room. Unfortunately, my friend Matt dropped out, and you need to have 4 people to go into a tea room. They won't let three people go into it. But see, if we would have got to go into the tea room, that would have been something that meant a lot to me because I've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Rainer? You ever been in a tea room?
No, I never have.
Oh.
There's this big fat orange thing sitting on my bed staring at me.
Oh, Ichigo. He's doing the Killer Orange Cat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Kevin wants to know if I've ever watched. They got a hell of a band from Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I've read this story because I like Stephen King's short stories sometimes more than his novels. Because a lot of his novels could
'Cause
be
it's
short
short.
stories, huh?
Because it's short.
Because it's short. Yeah, he doesn't edit himself, and no one else edits him because he's Stephen King. So it's his books are too big, and he sorry for fans, I apologize, but his later works, pretty much anything after Dolores Claiborne, um, he rambles and nobody edits him, and it's like guy, I love you, but you can tell the story in a shorter time. So I'm reading everyone's comments, so please don't think I'm skipping them. But yeah,
Ichigo waves back, Nicole, but he kind of looked at me like, "Why did you make me do that?"
the singer of the Plasmatics then went out on her own. Shift. I really don't think I know. I kind of ran it through my head, but I don't think so. So I apologize. I'd rather eat steak. Yeah, I'd love to have a steak. Oh God, I haven't had a steak in so long.
I haven't had one since I started eating meat again.
So when you go back, see, my Evil Black Cat was vegetarian for it was a long time, wasn't it?
About 10 years.
About 10 years, but it's really hard to be a vegetarian where we live right now. So she had to go back to eating meat just because we couldn't afford all the vegetarian stuff, and there's not much of it here. I just wondering though, when you go back to Chicago, are you going to go back to being a vegetarian?
I'm not sure. I keep thinking about it.
Yeah,
I
was.
mean,
Go ahead.
I often just during the day I'll be like, God, I really don't want to be eating this.
Right.
Or something, and I'll think about the fact that I definitely want to go back to being a vegetarian, but then I think of not the meat that I can't have, but the things like Starbursts.
Right.
Or that there are a couple of things in Chicago that I've never had because of the fact that I went vegetarian.
Actual sushi.
Huh?
Actual sushi.
I actually did have some. I remember that, like, couple of months that I went back to eating meat.
Oh, you did have sushi then.
I think we got sushi at that point. Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought you became a vegetarian before I stayed with you again. No, see, I mean, I was a vegetarian first, and I was a vegetarian for I don't know, about 4 years, and then I became a pescatarian. And I stopped being a vegetarian when they put me on Paxil and Seroquel for my OCD, because that stuff made me so freaking hungry. I mean, I like inhaled food, and I just had to start it again. So I went to, of all places, my first thing that I ate was I went to Bennigan's and had a turkey O'Toole sandwich. And when most of the Bennigan's closed down, I was like, no, I need a turkey O'Toole sandwich. But,
actually, I remember what it was. Is I started eating fish before I started eating meat again. So for a while there, I was eating fish.
You were eating fish, but you were eating like really deep fried. I remember seeing it. That was like the first fish you ate.
Yeah, I went to freaking Long John Silver's. That was just dumb.
Yeah, Kelly mentions here that Stephen King has said that he prefers short fiction and thinks that he suffered from oversolicited editors. And yeah, I think that's probably true. I mean, I think when you're a lot of people equate Stephen King with writing large books. So I think that the editors and the publishers want the books to look as large as possible, and that's probably one of the reasons why they don't really edit him down that much. And also, again, because he's Stephen King. I mean, you get to a point where you're famous, and every book that you write is a guaranteed #1 bestseller. You're gonna have less editing. That's just the truth of the matter. Have you had now I know you won that contest, but have you published any other works?
Yes, I have actually.
And have you told me this before, and am I an ass for not knowing?
No, you're not an ass. I've published 2 books and have published a work with the UK publisher Severance Publications.
And which ones were those?
I would have to look up the name of the book. I no longer remember what it was called.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, tell me sometime. I mean, if I think it'd be interesting to read. I have.
Here we go.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
have it right here.
Oh,
I have it right here. Nightmare Massacre, a collection of disturbing horror stories.
huh.
I had to actually search up my name in Google for it to pop up.
Well, I'd love to read it. That'd be great.
I just tickled Ichigo's belly, and he gave me this look like I betrayed him horribly.
I had a book published, but I don't. It's out of print. I let it go out of print. I forced it to go out of print. And I don't want anybody to read it. I will rewrite it someday. It was probably not. Okay, let's say it was definitely not my best work. I wrote it before I went to college, and I thought I was like the best writer in the world. Then I go to college, and I'm like, holy crap! I was an awful writer. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not really awful, but in comparison to what I could do now, you get like 8 years of academic writing, and that even helps your fiction writing. So I have a book that was published. I have an article that was published in school's academic journal, and I have a story called The Box that was published in William Rainey Harper College's. They do a small book of academic writing every year, and my story, The Box, was printed in that, which was very. I mean, Harper College has a student body of 26,000 students, and they put maybe 10 people got published in that book, and I was one of them. So I was exceptionally honored by that. So that felt good. Hey, we got 2 dislikes.
If I remember correctly, the book that I got published into originally, I think might have 1 or 2 Bram Stoker award-winning authors. So,
wow. I'm really kind of that's pretty impressive.
I didn't know it at the time, but I remember someone telling me that. I'm like, oh, well, that changes things, sort of. I'll have to verify that, but if it is true, then yeah, that is interesting.
One thing that I did, and I tried to find it when I was in one writing award. It was Lake Forest High School. The writing award was called the Sarah. I don't know if you know the writer Sarah Campbell. I don't. But apparently she went to Lake Forest High School to publish independent, writer. So they had a scholarship, the Sarah Campbell Literary Scholarship that they gave to someone who was an independent writer who loved writing and did a whole lot of writing that was not assignments in school. It was just everything that was independent, and I won it. And I didn't even apply for it or anything. I didn't know what happened. They just sent us they sent me and my mom a letter and told me that they were having an award ceremony and that I should attend it. I'm like, what the heck? So we went there not even knowing what was going on. And they do this big thing where they're talking about this woman, Sarah Campbell, who was a writer, and all of a sudden they say my name and that I won the award. And I'm like, huh? So I went up and I accepted it, and it was just a small amount of money in the award, and I felt really great about it. Lake Forest is a prominent school.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know who Sarah Campbell is to this day, though, but it was a small amount of money which I used to go out and buy a guitar. Actually, that's when I started playing guitar. James Thurber. I love James Thurber. I was in. If you're anybody's familiar with the play A Thurber Carnival, I was in that in high school. Quoth the Raven, "No more war." There's that was one of the stories I was in was these three people who were rewriting poems to make them seem a little bit less uh, downers, I guess. And they decided to rewrite the Raven. And one of the people's like, maybe we could change it to a Robin instead of a Raven. And I'm like, no, I think that's going a little bit too far. That was a fun play. I did this big speech at the beginning called "The Night the Bed Fell on My Father."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was fun because I got to. They allowed me. I was speaking directly to the crowd, to the audience, so I was allowed to feed off them, and I kind of like feeding off the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty fun. I got actually the first night I got a standing ovation for that one. Felt really really good. Yes, James Thurber is the one who wrote The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which we did, which was in a Thurber Carnival too. But yeah, I was so much. Everyone probably knows this. So much in high school, my career was I was going to be an actor. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
There was that was my life. I knew it was going to happen. I was going to get out of high school, not go to college. I was going to go straight into the acting world, and I was going to be successful. And no one could tell me otherwise. And I went to a movie audition, and they kept me there after my audition. They're like, "Are you willing to stay here until the auditions are over?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And, I'm thinking I'm really happy and stuff. And they had me read the lead role in the movie with this girl, and we do it, and they. I don't think I've ever told anybody this whole story. I don't even think I even told Evil Black Cat this story before. Have I?
I don't know.
Well, what happened was a week later I got the call back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on top of the freaking world. I got a call back from my very first movie audition.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to do the role again, and it wasn't the lead role at that point. It was a supporting character. They had me read for two supporting characters, and immediately the next day, the people who were financing the movie decided not to make it.
Oh God! Oh my Lord!
Yep, I got a call back. I knew that I was going to get the part. The stuff they were saying to me during the audition, it's like, yeah, it was pretty much they pretty much confirmed that I was going to get the part, and then they dropped it, decided not to make the movie, and after that, I've never gone to an acting audition again. That's how upset I was.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You should just write. Don't let your writers you love stop you from using your own skill. I agree with that. Like I said, I am so much better of a writer now that I went through college, and I'm happy. Oh, well, quick hi back to Paul Cherry. Thank you for coming in this long stream. I probably, at the very latest, I'm going to go until midnight, which is 25 minutes. Can't go on forever, of course, but I am exceptionally grateful so far to Rainer and Evil Black Cat for keeping us company. And it's make sure, again, if you're not subscribed to their channels, make sure to do that. Evil Black Cat doesn't do a whole lot of stuff, but she's going to, because
Yes, it will be soon.
Will be soon. Yep, she's going to be doing more things, and I hope if she. Can you put the link to the Spirit Math in here again? Maybe people haven't seen it. I really want people to see that. Paul Cherry gave you love, KLC, and I give Paul Cherry love back. That sounds kind of bad, I think, but you know what I mean. playing with the kid earlier when it came on and was like, wow, he's still on. Well, much love back to you and your family. Thank you for listening. Yeah, this is a long stream. I like, it's so funny because before I start these things, I'm like nervous as hell. I don't want to do it. 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 Then you get me on here and it's all I want to do. So it's nice. It's nice.
It's kind of like going to take a shower. You really don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Then when you're in the water, it's like, I am one with the water. I belong in the ocean. I am a creature of the sea.
Well, I agree with that, but I doubt he does.
Yeah, I've heard his story. No,
yeah,
he is very much like his channel's namesake.
Yes.
Oh wow, I never even thought about that. That is so
like
funny.
A cat?
I don't like getting wet. That is so funny. Oh wow. Yeah, it's 11:37 here. I'll go until midnight. You guys aren't required to stay until midnight unless you want to. But
I wouldn't be able to stay later than that because the cats would eat me.
That's true. So I'll go. It's another 22 minutes. I'll go for that, and then I'll stop. I gotta apologize for something. Hunger Games Victor, hey, just dropping in for a sec. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I asked some people on Twitter to give me topics. I know this is very unstructured, and it's fun. You know, we just fun, have fun with some people. I will try to be maybe a little bit more organized, not completely, because why this. We don't really have to do that, but I will. How am I trying to say it? I'll find some topics for us to talk about that people want to hear. So I know somebody posted one on Twitter, but I lost it because I got so many messages on Twitter. It's hard to find them. So yeah, that's good. And thank you, Teresa. I don't know if my stream is really that good, but hopefully I'll improve. I'm glad to do it, and maybe I'm thinking about possibly in the beginning of them, maybe starting to read a story or something live.
Mm-hmm.
That might be something interesting. Have you ever done that before, Rainer?
Oh yes.
Stories
yes.
live. I know Swamp Driller does it, but yeah, it's
one of the things that I do for the narrator April Jones is I will narrate out a story that I want to have recorded, and I will either post it to my channel or to another channel. The final edited version, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, I actually have to get to work on that here soon. So when midnight strikes, I'm going to be heading straight back into editing.
Well, I'm going to be sort of like doing that too, because I got to get a video out. I haven't had one out since Monday, so I wanted to do the stream.
Oh, I have zero intents of putting out a video on my channel until I can get to the next Dark Disorders episode.
Right.
Because right now that's all that people want. No one wants anything else.
And
I know exactly what video they're waiting on too. So I think the best way to break away from the return, I mean, is to give them exactly what they've been wanting. I've seen my analytics. I commented on a video involving psychopaths, asking if I could use a bit of the footage in my own video to kind of illustrate out psychopaths in a video. And I'm going to make two. They're going to be released at the exact same time on the exact same day. One on psychopathy and psychopaths, and then one on sociopaths.
Okay.
I'm gonna, of course, go into the actual psychological definition of the disorder itself behind the two, explain the differences, and explain the relation and why some people view it as exactly the same.
And if you do that correctly, I will love you forever. Because I don't know if you know this, but people who misuse those terms annoy the hell out of me. I hate it. I hate it when someone says this person's a sociopath. No, he's not. No, you don't know what a sociopath is. And then it's like, this person's a psychopath. No, he's not. it's like I sit there and I explain the differences, and people are like, "You don't know what you're talking about." Oh, maybe I should take a picture of my degree and show it to you. I think I know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't planning on bringing up individuals like, say, the famous serial killer Ted Bundy and saying, "Oh, well, he's a sociopath." No, he's a psychopath.
Yeah,
No,
he's a
that's
psychopath.
that's
Yeah.
not what I intend on doing. Of course, he's a psychopath. We know this, but
Uh,
that wasn't what I was going for.
yeah, Ted Bundy was his emotions were so under control. He was so intelligent, and some people are like, no, wait, no, he was intelligent. He was cunning. He was clever. He escaped from jail 2 times, and in the great reason. I don't know if do you guys know how he escaped from jail the first time?
I don't remember.
It was brilliant. He in the first case, he decided to represent himself legally, and doing that gave him the right to go into the legal library alone. So they let him into the law library by himself. He slipped out of a window and disappeared.
Oh my lord.
Absolutely. Okay. No. Let me say here first. I'm not praising Ted Bundy at all, but that was cunning. That was clever. That was brilliant. He was, Ted Bundy was a piece of shit. He was. Can't say. I as a psychologist, I feel bad saying stuff like that, because I know how personality disorders work, and it's not something you can really get rid of. However, I think that there are people who have the impulse to murder. We've done fMRIs on their brains of serial killers, and we know that there's a lack of activity in their frontal lobe, and the frontal lobe is very important for how you act socially. How do I want to explain this? I'm trying not to use too many psychological terms, but impulse control. People who have low frontal brain activity have bad manners, and they really can't help it, because their brain just doesn't really work, and their frontal lobe doesn't really work. And that's something that we see a lot in antisocial personality disorder, which is the technical name for psychopaths and sociopaths. They're in the antisocial personality disorder spectrum, as you might want to say. They are developed in a certain way that they don't really see what they're doing is wrong. They see, this is how I am, and I'm just acting the way, that my personality, that the way that I developed. Now, personality disorders, they can't be controlled. There's no treatment for them. It's because it's just the way you were adapted incorrectly according to society. It's maladaptive. I mean, we have certain rules. I know, Rainer, I'm sure you know all of these things too. So, but yes, it's just, we have certain things in society that we consider to be right for a personality. When a person develops differently, we call that being maladaptive, and that they have a personality disorder. I have a personality disorder. If you ever look up schizoid personality disorder, oh God, I'm a bad psychologist. It's either schizoid personality or schizotypal one. It's the one that's not related to schizophrenia, because I'm not schizophrenic, but
That's me.
Yeah, you are schizophrenic.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Diagnosed by a psychiatric center in San Antonio.
Do you take? It's just a personal question. You can tell me to fuck myself, but do you take antipsychotics then?
I've been abstaining from my pill, and the reason being is because I believe it has been attributing to my weight gain, and it makes tolerance of light very difficult. But the one that I was taking is aripiprazole, otherwise known as Abilify.
Oh yeah, they told me that when I was on Abilify, because I'm not schizophrenic, but I do have severe obsessive compulsive disorder, and when I I think most people who ever listen to some of the videos about myself, I've explained it, what I went through, and I actually thought I was schizophrenic. But here's the thing: is that when you're going through that, the main thing they said it was like, well, you're sitting here thinking that you're schizophrenic, so you're really not. You're obsessive compulsive. I'm like, oh, and they're like, and they're like, because you don't believe, you believe and you don't believe. They said if you believed it outright, we would probably diagnose you as schizophrenic, but you don't really believe, and you think that you could ward these things off by doing certain little things with your hands and arms and saying things. They're like, you're obsessive compulsive, but we're still going to put you on antipsychotics. So what did they put me on first? Seroquel.
Oh, great.
I went from 145 pounds to 210 pounds. I'm a short guy. I'm 5'7". So imagine it's a 5'7", 210-pound guy. It was awful. I couldn't stop eating. I never stopped being hungry. So they changed it, and I was on Risperdal. That was awful. It didn't make me eat, but it was just awful. And then they put me on Abilify, and Abilify, I actually think Abilify is the worst of them. The way that it made me feel, and it did make me eat more too. I just stopped taking them altogether, and I take Prozac, which was so funny because Prozac was the original SSRI. But they were putting me on Paxil and Seroquel because my psychiatrist got money whenever they prescribed Paxil and Seroquel. They didn't work for me, but the helpful thing to do for me would have been to give me Prozac in the beginning. I mean, test wise, if you really study the pills, it's got a higher success rate in treating OCD than any other SSRI, but they prescribed Paxil to me because they get money when they did it. I was pretty irritated about that. And I'm glad that my former psychiatrist, she left that, and now she's doing some sort of yoga psychiatry. It's really odd. I was really surprised because she was so scientific, skeptical. She was a complete and utter scientist. And then now she's doing yoga therapy, which I just found to be really odd. I know it helps a lot of people. I don't understand it that much. I know that if you know Jake the Snake Roberts, who was a severe fucking alcoholic for years, I have videos of him going into the ring after he drank 2 bottles of vodka, and he just couldn't stop, and he probably would be dead if it wasn't for Diamond Dallas Page, who has a yoga school, and for some reason doing yoga made him stop drinking. It's interesting. Wait, if psychopaths can feel no empathy at all, how come Ted Bundy decided to spare some people? Well, you got to think about that. If a murderer spares somebody, did they really save them? But if we'll say that I don't know about the saving him. I don't really know the exact things, but if he was with them at the time and they were scared, that's a terrifying thing they had to live with for their entire life. I wouldn't consider that to be really sparing them as much as it is just really messing with them really, really bad. DDP Yoga, that's being credited for really saving a lot of people who are alcoholics. It's pretty interesting. But one thing you also got to realize about psychopaths and sociopaths, they have different degrees of the quote unquote symptoms. So it's like a spectrum. So you can't. A psychopath may have a little bit of empathy. They usually don't. But do we really know that's why? If he spared people, and I don't really know the stories behind that, but if he did, it doesn't have to be because of empathy. It could have been for other reasons.
A psychopath doesn't always have to kill. In fact, so looking into a lot of cases with diagnosed psychopaths who murdered or were serial killers, it often came down to sometimes it being simply an impulsive act. And if the impulse or the drive was no longer there to commit the act, some of them would just let it go.
Right. So it's yeah, and it's hard to really know everything that was going through his mind. Ted Bundy was he really messed with people. So the truth of what he did, we don't really know. He was really well known for lying and telling the truth. And he did a really good job of making people not know when he was telling the truth or when he was lying. And again, I'm not trying to praise him because he was a worthless piece of crap, you know. So I feel that way about anybody who murders. If you, like I was saying, Jeffrey Dahmer talked a lot about the impulse to murder. He said the impulse is there. There's something psychological. I can't control it. Okay, so what you do is before you kill somebody, you go to a freaking psychiatrist and say, "Hey, I have this impulse. Maybe I need to be put in a psychiatric ward for a while rather than go out and kill somebody."
Mostly because there are people who do that.
There are people who do that.
And that's just it. He didn't care about that.
Right.
He did not have the empathy for another person to do that. He lacked it.
Oh yeah, and he pretended that he did too. That's one thing that's bad about.
Psychopaths are extremely good at putting on a mask, but the moment they take it off,
the man who killed
fair game.
If you remember, Jeffrey Dahmer used to tell people that he told people that he wanted the death penalty. Of course, Wisconsin doesn't have it. He told people how miserable he was all the time and stuff, and he cried and stuff. But here, when the guy who murdered him, the reason why he said that he did it, he's like Jeffrey Dahmer was lying to you guys. He came back. He didn't feel bad. He didn't feel bad about anything. He would talk to us and he would like make jokes about the people that he killed and be like, "Oh, and I ate this guy's this, that, and the other," or "Oh God, yeah, that was funny." He would describe the murders to other people in the jail and laugh at them. And the guy who killed him said, "We just couldn't take this anymore." I mean, sure, we've all done bad things, but you know, a lot of us feel bad about it. A lot of us, you know, and we may do it again. But we don't sit here and do this. I mean, we don't make fun of people that were murdered, which is what he did. So the guy finally snapped and killed him in the shower. So he just said, "I couldn't take it anymore." And if you have, if I'm not mistaken, that guy was in there for murder also. But yeah, it's to push somebody that far. But yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer was a liar, you know, to the fact that he really tried to make people think that, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and he wasn't sorry at all. Ted Bundy says child pornography triggered his psychopathy. Is that possible? No, Ted Bundy said that to create a controversy around it. He was when he was after he got arrested, he continued to manipulate people. He wanted people. The reason that he did that was because he really wanted to create that idea so people would have something against pornography. The idea that it triggered it, I think that's nonsense. I don't know what you think about that, Rainer, but I think he was just messing with people.
Oh, indeed. Definitely.
Yeah. He again, I don't, this is not praising Ted Bundy, but Ted Bundy was very intelligent.
He was intelligent and clever. A lot of people will argue on one side or the other as to whether or not all psychopaths are very intelligent. But in the case of Ted Bundy, there's no denying his intelligence. There's no denying how clever of an individual he was. That doesn't mean that we would praise something like that. That doesn't mean, like, for example, we're praising the intelligence or the orating ability of Hitler, for example. We're simply acknowledging who they were, what they were capable of, and the significance it has to the conversation.
Right. Thank you very much for stating that, because you know I was having a problem putting that into words. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. But yeah, but yeah, Ted Bundy was you have to I don't really recommend watching all of his stuff, but if you're interested in psychopathy, watch his interviews. But know, keep in mind that that he's, again, like we said, he's very clever. Keep in mind that the words that he says to you are mostly always trying to give you a false impression that he wanted you to believe. He was great at that. So if you're brave enough to do it, watch it. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, the pornography thing was bullshit. You know, how many people watch pornography and don't go out and do that? You know, I'm sure the majority of people around here, maybe not Nicole, but I'm pretty sure the majority of people have watched a bit of pornography. So, Evil Black Cat, that's all she does. And I was joking about that. I don't really know if she does or not. But, Rainer, that's all he does.
I deny that.
But, and of course, I'm kidding. I don't know, but if you do, I don't see any big deal in people watching pornography, and I don't think it's related to violence in any way. In fact, I would say more or less it probably keeps people from being violent.
Probably.
Because it releases sexual energy that they may not be able to do in another way. So, and people can get really worked up and do things they might not do. So,
you made me laugh so hard that Drusilla ran away.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. But so yeah. Anyhow, guys, yeah, that definitely I don't believe that. Evil Black Cat is a perv. Oh, okay, Kevin thinks you're a perv. Is Lou Bloom a good comparison to Ted Bundy? What would you think about that, Rainer?
I don't know well enough about Lou Bloom to be able to make a statement on that, so I'm going to punt on that for now. Bring it up next time, Dan. I'll look into it more, and hopefully I'll be able to have a better answer for you.
I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to do that too, and make that a topic in the next stream. I think that would be very interesting if that's something you guys want to see.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into Lou Bloom now.
But we have reached the witching hour. So we have one more minute. So I take this time to thank Rainer and Evil Black Cat for being here. Again, if you guys are not subscribed to their channels, go there. Evil Black Cat's channel is neat. It's kind of all over the place, but it's fun. Go see watch the Spirit Meth video, the Googleplex video, if you haven't watched it yet. Maybe she'll post the link one more time in there.
There we go.
That is a fun video. If you're a fan of spirit science, don't watch it because you'll probably hate us. But please do that. We're going to have a new Spirit Math video coming out very soon. It's about the most cursed object in the history of the world. So we hope that you'll watch that when it comes out.
You should sign off with Bloody Mary.
I should do Bloody Mary?
Because it's midnight?
Oh, well, and Rainer, if you haven't been to his channel, go there. It's one of the most original, and I think he's original channel. He knows how to disturb you. He does. So go there and enjoy. He is absolutely marvelous, and I love having him here. And I hope he'll come here next week so we can do that Lou Bloom thing. I'll do the research on it too. So that could be fun and a good topic. But I want to thank you both. Hope you both join me next week too. And thank everybody who's come here. Love y'all. Bye Dan, bye Kelly.
Later on.
But I can't say everybody, so I'm just gonna say one thing and then I'll go ahead and sign off. I'll let you guys say goodbye first if you want.
I did. See y'all later.
Okay, so anyhow, I want you guys to do one thing for me. I love you too. Love you guys. But whatever you do, don't forget to make sure to check in your closet and check under your bed because you never know where a killer orange cat might be hiding. Good night, everybody.